criticism. If deporting folks is wrong, why are they only going after Trump for doing it? Why didn't they go after Obama? So we're going to talk about it from that standpoint. But nevertheless, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal, depending on who you ask. Welcome to the program. So we'll give folks time to filter in, but the idea of using a 5-year-old as bait sounds insane. Now, from what I've heard, and as Creed rightfully points out, there's two sides to every story. From what I've heard so far, they went to arrest his dad. His dad was an asylum seeker. They went to arrest his dad at the home. Dad takes off running, apparently, leaving son behind, which very cowardly. That doesn't sound good at all for dad to take off running, leaving his kid behind. But to some degree, the kid is at home and the kid is in police custody. So while I vehemently disagree in regards to the dad taking off and leaving his damn kid behind, fact is the kid is safe. He's at home and he's with police. So I don't like running off and leaving your damn kid behind, but it's not like he left his kid behind and did not know whether his child would be safe or not. The kid is with the police and he's in front of his own crib. So the kid is safe. Anyhow, it sounds like once dad took off running, they ended up capturing dad and taking dad into custody. You're not going to get away. ICE agents come deep. ICE agents come deep. So you're not getting away from them. But anyway, they caught the father. And from the news stories, they did, once dad was in custody, they let the kid. This is what I'm hearing. I hope this is wrong. I want to be told this is wrong. I want this to be wrong. But from what I'm hearing, they had the kid knock on the door of his parents' home, or better yet, knock on the door of the home to see was there anybody else in the home, so that they could then potentially arrest whoever was in the house. Once you got the dad in custody, the kid should sit in the car with with one of the officers that are at the scene. The kid should not be at the house knocking on doors or even none of that. The kid should be in the car with an agent, and the agent goes to the home or whatever the case may be. To some degree, if you've already taken dad into custody, you have no legal right, rather, to knock on the door of the home at all. Legally, you can take the kid with you, fork the kid over to DCFS or something of that nature, and then try to reach out to the parents. But I'm hearing they tried to use the kid as bait. Now, in the comments, Platron says, that ain't true. Which part is not true? Using a 5-year-old child as bait just sounds horrible. Now, apparently, this ain't the only, detaining kids apparently sounds like it's something ICE is simply doing in the area. Which in itself is another awful thing to be doing. If ICE is grabbing folks' kids, that in itself is also awful, but that is also what folks in the area are complaining about.
And focused just on supporting our school district, our families, our students, our staff. But as of this week, 4 of our students have been apprehended and taken away by masked and armed ICE agents with no identifying badges. So we decided it was time to speak up and share what's actually going on. The onslaught of ICE activity in our community is inducing trauma and is taking a toll on our children, taking a toll on our families, our staff, our community members. The young boy, Liam, and his father, who were taken yesterday, have the documentation. I saw it with my own eyes when I visited the home.
Liam and his dad did enter the United States at a port of entry to seek asylum through the CBP-1 app at the Brownsville border crossing. So they did everything right when they came in. They used the app, they made an appointment, they came to the border and presented themselves to Customs and Border Patrol. They've shared all of their information with the government, and they were following the process.
So over the last
The point made here is, why was this guy arrested? Why was he arrested to begin with? Absolutely. Why was he arrested at his home? Now, everybody agrees that the dad ran, but why was he arrested at home to begin with? I'm not aware that this guy has any criminal history or anything at all. So the question I'm wondering is, why is there such
because it's a false narrative.
Why is there such a dramatic arrest to begin with? And I mean, certainly in front of his kid and things of that nature. To grab, I mean, because this is, remember when the woman goes into the church with Don Lemon, and the whole argument is there's kids there, you're disturbing the church service. Why is that same energy not aimed at ICE that are doing something similar, that are taking kids into custody in front of their friends, going into schools and things like that? Why is that happening? So I do want to play another clip before we start taking calls in regards to this topic, and certainly in regards to that woman that was arrested at that church service with Don Lemon. I want to talk to you about that as well. But I want you to hear this clip. This clip is unfortunately about a minute long, but I think you need to hear this. I think it is par for the course in regards to what we're discussing. This was on News Nation, and I kind of just clipped it off, which is why it's not perfectly centered. Looking in the comments, this kid might be safe, but what about the dozens of hundreds of others that have been abducted? Do you really trust ICE agents not to be molesting them? Wow, because I don't, says Andrew. There have been children that have been abused in the custody of ICE. There have been grown people that have been abused while in the custody of ICE. So I don't want to accuse ICE of that, but law enforcement is just like anybody else. They make errors, they make mistakes, they commit crimes just like everybody else. So you're dealing with people that are being detained by a society that really don't care about them. We just want illegal immigrants in this country gone if you look at the Trump administration. So it's not like if an illegal immigrant is abused while in the custody of law enforcement, while in the custody of ICE, they're going to be able to plead their case to the Trump administration and get a lot of mercy. So the point is, yeah, I mean, it is kind of open season on them. I don't think it would be hard to abuse an immigrant and get away with it right now. I mean, there are some ICE agents abusing Americans and getting away with it. You can certainly abuse a faceless immigrant that is not going to be able to explain this case to anyone. So we'll end up talking about that. She, they will end up talking. We'll certainly bring you up. I want you guys to hear this though.
It's because it's a false narrative. This idea that you either stand for open borders or you stand for convicted, criminal aliens, or this chaos you see on the streets. The Obama administration, we were labeled a deporter in chief. We deported millions of undocumented immigrants.
Real quick, I want you to. The reason I'm playing is that both of these men here that were on Chris Cuomo, but the one you're hearing speaking, I think his name is John Sandwick. He is the guy that was acting like Tom Homan during the Obama administration. So he was the head of ICE because you'll hear him say we deported. He was the head of ICE immigration under the Obama administration.
Or this chaos you see on the streets. The Obama administration, we were labeled a deporter in chief. We deported millions of undocumented immigrants, but did it, including millions of people with criminal convictions from the interior without these images, because this is not about criminals. This is about a mass deportation effort, and this is also about using ICE agents, putting them in a very difficult position that has increased the threats to them and increased the risks of assault to them. Same with Border Patrol agents by having to confront these protesters. But look, the image today, the guy with the 5-year-old kid, he had a court date, Chris. He already had a court date. He was in deportation proceedings waiting for his court date. Why would you arrest them unless you're trying to rack up some stats? But that's not a criminal alien. That's not someone with a final order of removal. And now we created this terrible dilemma where, admittedly, once you arrest them, you've got this horrible situation for the agents with the 5-year-old. But we created that. Why were we there in the first place? There are criminal aliens on the streets. There are gang members on the streets. Arresting them is hard. It's slow. Let's go back to the harder or slower work that has proven successful, that proved successful during Chad's time and my time, that didn't cause this social unrest or this turmoil.
So you hear what he says. This guy was an asylum seeker. He has zero criminal history in America. He came here through a legal port of entry and it claimed asylum. Now, obviously, the Trump administration pretty much dumped every asylum claim on the books. Everybody that was seeking asylum under the Biden administration instantly had all of their claims revoked under the Trump administration. The Trump administration didn't even give any of their claims due diligence. If you had an open asylum case under Trump, they just threw it out. And that's what this guy is part of. However, as you hear him ask, why do you just arrest the guy at his court hearing? He's going through the process. He's not running because you caught him at home. There was no need to do this, is what he's indicating. There was no need to do this in front of his kid and create this whole melee. Regardless of how you feel about what took place, him running his kid and all, this didn't have to happen. You could have just sent him a notice telling him to come to court for his asylum case and got him when you got him when he showed up to court, as they have done with many other people. Many other people have been arrested at court. So there was no need to do this at his home in front of his kid. Last but not least, quick video. This is an immigration attorney. I'm not sure he's correct about any of this shit. So I just wanted, because it falls in line with what we're talking about. I'm not going to express any credibility or criticize the guy. I just want you to hear what he's saying, though.
Why people are getting arrested at green card interviews, even if they're married to U.S. citizens, even if they came here legally and just overstayed. The reason why they're getting detained is because ICE officers are actually getting rewarded for making these arrests, even if they know these people are going to be released a few days after. In San Diego, where I'm at, about a month ago, ICE agents stormed into green card interviews and started arresting applicants that had no criminal record. They just overstayed their visas, and they're married to U.S. citizens. Cases like this, a Navy wife detained at her green card interview, and then I had to go out and release her 3 days after her sitting in jail. Or other married couples detained for no reason, just to be released. They have a quota, 3,000 people a day. Financial rewards for each head. That's why they're doing it, not to keep you safe. So next time you go to your green card interview, think about it. Do you have a green card?
So, question in the comments, yes or no. How many of you folks think that's true? That they're getting financially rewarded for arresting people, even if their arrest is not going to culminate into anything? By way of yes or no, does anybody believe that's happening? That ICE is actually receiving bonuses for taking people into custody, even if they're going to get nothing out of it? Because I have heard folks say, now keep in mind, the reason I'm asking this question, because ICE has made a lot of arrests of people that have been released. Americans, immigrants that had all their credentials. I mean, ICE has taken a lot of folks into custody that later get released. And his comment, if that is the case, I don't know if it's the case or not, but I'm just simply saying, if what he is saying is true, that could have a lot to do why that dad of the 5-year-old boy was arrested at home versus just grabbing him in court. If you're trying to rack up numbers and get bonuses, shit, why wait till he goes in court? Let's go get this money right now. That way we'll get credit for it as opposed to whoever does it at the courthouse. So I want to talk to you about that. Also, in addition to this whole 5-year-old allegedly being used as bait, we come with more than one topic. This next one, I don't understand this. If I can get my monitor to act right, you guys know that there was an arrest of a woman. Don Lemon busted into this church, and you even heard President Trump talking about it. Don Lemon went into a church. Apparently, a couple of the other people that were involved in that got arrested. One being an African-American woman. She's been on the news. But here is a photo, if you can see it on my screen, of her being taken into custody. The problem is, and this has been confirmed, the Trump administration posted her arrest on the White House's website. That ain't the problem. The problem is they doctored the image. They darkened the black woman's skin tone. And as opposed to her looking stoic and confident, they made her look as though she was crying. This isn't trolling. This is not a cartoon. They didn't admit what they posted was even altered whatsoever. So they simply took a legitimate image, altered it to darken her face and skin tone, make her appear as though she was crying. And they put that on the White House website. This came from the White House. I have to ask this question to you folks, because President Trump, and I guess to a lesser degree, former vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin, coined the phrase fake news. How can someone release something like this on the White House site and criticize anyone in regards to fake news going forward? And does doing something like this, I want to ask all of you folks, particularly my beloved MAGA, as I always say, you know, I enjoy talking to MAGA. Does this change your view in regards to the credibility that the president has? Remember, he points out fake news all the time. For him to post something like this and make no mention that this is not a real image. They doctored this up to make it look like it was a real image. They literally made this woman look like she was crying when she's not. Side by side, you clearly see the images being doctored. Does this affect your credibility in regards to Trump at all? Remember, they're sending us pictures of Venezuelan boats being bombed and telling us there were drugs on them. This image shows they are capable of telling us stuff that is not true and not letting us know it's fake. On the White House website. This isn't something on this came from the White House's website. So I want to get your opinion on that. And last but not least, simple question. Simple question. What does the term woke, what does the term woke mean to you? So you guys know how the program is ran. We don't block, ban, or censor any damn body here. We are indeed MAGA friendly. Appreciate the hat. Gangsta Grandma. Start the program off. Thank you. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone in this program. And thank you, Miss Mo Better. Our comments go left of Bernie Sanders, Trump having dinner with Q. Nevertheless, liberals are always welcome on the program as well, but we certainly remain MAGA friendly in our entirety. Uncensored programming you're getting here. So you can be critical of anybody on the program, including yours truly. So looking in the comments briefly, Tim, the FBI just returned from Mexico with 2 of the top 10 most wanted. Why aren't you talking about that? Well, one of the dudes was a fucking what, tennis or what sport did he play? And he scammed somebody. It's a bullshit story. He was a golfer or something like that had scammed people out of money. Can't nothing about that. He might get pardoned by President Trump. I mean, look, we're talking about Somali fraud, yet Trump is pardoning fraudsters like once a week. It's not much of a story. Nobody gives a shit about it. So that's why it's not being mentioned. I hate to block folks that are, spamming, but certainly we apparently have one. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. So looking in the comments, woke alert. It's nothing negative, that's for sure. We'll see about that, Chris. We'll see about that. So also the White House website isn't like subject to any sort of laws where they have to tell the truth. Same as TV news or Twitter. Really? Is that your hill to die on? Is that the president can lie all he wants on the White House's website because they aren't subjected to tell the truth? So in other words, if you don't hold Trump accountable for what he says, he may just lie and say any damn thing. Wow, that's a hell of a defense for him. Let me go to the box and we'll start the program off. Tap the screen, get the lights on up to 10,000. We'll start up with Gangsta Grandma indeed. Gangsta Grandma, good evening.
Okay, honey bunny. I'm gonna be trying to be nice to your sorry ass, but let's see. Now let's get the definition of woke. It means being aware of the racism, the injustice. That's what being woke is. Okay? It's not what the white man are saying about what woke is. They always want to steal shit, like they steal everything else. But woke means the injustice of African Americans. That's what woke means. And racism. Now clock that.
What do you wait? What do you mean they want to steal us like they steal everything else? Are you're making it sound like white people are wholesale thieves or something?
They are. They steal everything. They stole woke. They don't even know what woke meant. You know what I mean? Golly, come on, let's keep it a buck. They don't even know what woke means. And now woke means anything that does with us, black and brown people. They don't even know what the true definition of woke was. That's what the white man always be doing. You know what I mean? That's why I tell you, they do not even have a culture. They steal everything.
Oh, come on. So you're telling me Germans don't have their own culture, French don't have their own culture? What are you talking about?
I said what I said. Thank you. Have a nice day.
So white people don't have their own culture, but blacks do.
No. Yes, we do, honey bunny. We do. Well, see, this is what they don't think. At least we know how to cook. We know how to throw bones. We know how to do block parties.
So how do you respond?
We take scraps and we turn it into deluxe food. You know what the white man does? They can't even cook the chicken right. That's why they win. You know what I mean?
I was in Vegas. Wait. I was in Vegas last week. Gordon Ramsay, who's a white man, cooks very well. That's not true. White people can cook.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. He's far in between. Because the typical maggots, I'm talking about the maggots, okay? They can't cook. They ding-a-lings fall off and everything else. The end of bread, everything. I'm talking about maggot people. I'm not talking about white tea, normalized people that are out there with us. No. What
about when you see crimes being committed like mob robberies and folks fighting in the Waffle House and Walmart? A lot of folks will put in the comments when it's African Americans. Being like that, thuggery is in their culture. Like what you see happen on Carnival Cruise Line.
This thuggery in the white tea man culture. What you talking about, Willis? Damn, they're the ones that unaliving everybody. They're the ones that when they have an emotional wreck day, they go pew-pew up our damn schools. They're the ones that go to the malls and pew-pew them up. We can't even celebrate God in church without getting pew-pewed. And that was white tea men. They get into their feelings. The brain goes dysfunction because they are interbred, and they go pew-pewing us up. They're the ones that are doing it. They always blame the left.
Well, come on now. Wait a minute.
Right.
No.
When the statistics are right, the right side are the ones that are doing the most. Don't go there with that.
I don't think I can't. I mean, other than Dylan Roof, when is the last time you heard of a white person pew-pewing a church full of black people?
What are you talking about? They be doing
No, they don't.
There was one. Okay, they did it though. You don't hear us and our Negroes going up in there pew-pewing up our damn church. Do you even see a black child going up into a school? Okay, and doing it? You don't see that. You don't see a Mexican child doing that. You only see white tea kids doing that. Why do you think that is?
Well, that's not true. There are other. I mean, I know.
It is true.
Virginia Tech.
There's no black or Mexican kids that did it.
Virginia Tech is a higher learning institution that was black.
You can't get that cock out your mouth, can you?
I'm trying to answer the question.
You really cannot get the white cock out your mouth that bad. You would push me back. Where's the pushback when they come up and call you a ninja? Where's the pushback when you come up and they say Biden's economic shit was wrong? Where's the goddamn pushback on that, buddy? Oh, no, you can't do that, huh? Because you like that white cock up your ass without a condom, huh? Yeah. Let's do it.
You wanna
and I'll go square up with your ass.
You want to wrongfully accuse the white man of everything. And the minute I criticize and point out that you're wrong, I suddenly got cock in my mouth.
Damn, They're doing it. Go look at the statistics. They're doing it. The white team, the only reason why the white man always says black on black crime, there is no such thing as black on black crime. There is no such thing as black on black crime.
How the hell could there not be?
You want to go there? I can say white on white crime. I can say Hispanic on Hispanic crime. It's percent. What is it? If you're in a black hood, it's going to be a black victim. You're in a white T hood, it's going to be a white
All
victim.
of the victims of gun violence that blacks have in their neighborhoods, you don't see any of that as black on black crime.
It's black because it is in a black neighborhood. Just like a white tea neighborhood will be a white tea. See, this is why you need a white cock out your mouth so gosh damn bad and turn black again. Because I swear to God, your mama dropped you on your head a few fucking times and made you drink bleach. And so you really do think that you are bleach? You are white? You know what I'm saying? Because it is the white tea man. Go look at the statistics. You know the white tea man is the most dangerous in the United States.
Do you blame? Let me ask you something. Hold on, hang on, hold on. And by the way, Handsome Conservative says, woke man here stealing her culture. Support your local liberal. So he's stealing your culture. Are you blaming the white man for all the crime in our damn neighborhoods?
They're doing it. Do you know that when I...
How?
No, I'm telling you, it's okay, when it's in the black neighborhood, it's going to be a black victim. You go to a Hispanic neighborhood, it's going to be a Hispanic victim. You go to a white teen neighborhood, it's going to be a white victim. White on white crime.
Then you
they just make it more like that because they hate on us.
So then you readily
13%.
So then you readily admit that all of the crime in our neighborhoods is our fault.
Oh, you know what, Tim?
Simple
You know
question.
what our fault is? You know what our fault is? We have niggas like you. Okay? That's what our fault is. We have ninjas like you. Our house ninjas. Yes, master. Let's give it up to the white team man. Yes, master.
You didn't answer the question. All of the crime that is in the inner
I
city.
did answer the question. I said, it's because of you. What the fuck?
Okay, I get the end.
It's your sorry ass, your sorry peanut gallery looking ass that has to cape for the white tea man that will put you in a damn tree faster than a black man would.
I'm still failing to see how the white man has anything. You talk about Detroit. You talk about Detroit. You talk about Chicago. You talk about Seattle. You talk about. I don't see how the white man has anything to do.
The white tea man talks about Chicago all the damn time. I've been to Chicago. I forgot what that damn restaurant has the best of the best sushi. I forgot what restaurant that was. That was some bomb ass fire sushi though. You feel what I'm saying? But let me tell you, Chicago is the bomb. I went down there. I didn't even have to strap up. Went in there. What was the crime at? I didn't get robbed.
Let me ask it to you this way.
I don't get robbed by a white tea man.
Let me ask it to you. Okay, let me ask it to you this. Heidi in the comments says, why do so many blacks in black neighborhoods commit crimes against each other? What say you?
Oh, see, there it goes, right there. And it's called African Americans. Quit calling us blacks. That is racist.
You want
blacks? Are you fucking serious, blacks? And you promote this shit. Are you so fucking? I mean, come on. Have you graduated yet? I mean, did you go to school? Who calls a black person blacks?
You give me everything.
That's white nationalists right there, buddy.
You give me everything but the answer. Why does this happen?
What are you talking about?
Why does African Americans, if you want to go with that?
Right. I mean, come the fuck. You know what? I'm so sick. I am so sick of your dumb bomb ass looking beaner looking ass.
I might also, why you're tearing
I just told you why there's black on black crime, why there's white on white. It is a proximity. Okay? You're in a black hood, you're going to be a black victim. What are you talking about, Willis?
I might also add, William in the comments makes a really good point. You're going ape shit about the term black, yet you have no problem yelling white.
White is their color. They call us blacks in slavery. They call us ninjas. What the fuck, man? Are you fucking dumb? I mean, I'm being honest to God, no shit, no trolling aside. Are you really this special? For real? Do we really need to go get some education on some black fucking history? Who calls black people blacks? That is white supremacy right there.
What you're
Are you fucking crazy?
what you're talking about?
Roll me a blunt.
What you're talking about?
See, this is more. No. Look how much pushback you got for a black woman, but you don't have this much pushback for a white teen man that comes up on your life and spits misinformation
You're-
on everything.
What you're
And
saying,
you don't push back.
you're
That cock is really good up in your ass. I need to buy you some lube and get you some knee pads.
You're talking a lot. You're passionate, but you're making zero sense whatsoever.
Are you serious?
Yes, and if you give me a moment to
I swear to God,
if
you're
you give me a moment to
ignorant as a
explain,
black man.
all you're doing is talking while making no sense. You talk about black as if it's some kind of white hate term.
Look it up.
Well, how about if I can I speak to you? How about if I look up the term black and come across a song by James Brown saying I'm black and I'm proud? Is he a white supremacist, goddammit?
He said blacks. You nip shit. And you say blacks. If he puts in a song, he puts in a song. I'm telling you, it is white. You know what? I'm so done. I mean, you motherfucker. I swear. You know what? You're ignorant. You're ignorant.
So-
I could tell that you wasn't brought up in the hood. I could tell that you didn't know your own black history. And I could tell that you was raised by white teen people because you don't say blacks.
So the term
You
is
don't
over.
say black. You say black people.
So
But
in
you
other
don't
words,
say black.
you can say black, but it becomes a racist if you add an
Blacks.
S.
You don't say blacks. I say black people. I say black. You don't get it. I swear to God.
No, I don't get
You're
it.
dumb. You're dumb as a fucking brick. You're dumb as a fucking like a bag of dum-dums. White. I swear to God. I swear to God.
I'm going to tell you, gangster grandma.
I say black people.
Hearing you speak, you really undermine folks who actually have to deal with racism by coming up with this crazy shit of how blacks.
Oh my fucking God, you're dumb! I swear to God! You know what, Tim? You're not even fucking black. Because you know what? When I was brought up, my dad is black. He said, you never say black. You say black people. You don't say blacks. What the fuck? It's white. I swear to God, you're dumb. You're dumb as a fucking black. You're not black, dude. You're not. You're white. Because that's why I call you for you. That's why you let them call you a ninja. That's why you let them disrespect you. That's why. Because you're stupid. You're fucking stupid.
So you're telling me calling a person black is fine. Saying blacks is racist.
Blacks. Oh my God, damn. I'm done. Switch the damn subject because you're stupid. You're stupid. You're stupid. You're fucking stupid.
If I'm stupid, you ain't educating me well at all here.
Well, yo, because I'm trying to educate you, but you're too goddamn stupid. Yo, IQ is a fucking like a stick, like not even the fifth grade. My grandbabies will tell you, you do not call black people black. You blacks, you don't do that. It is a white conspiracy, a white suit, whatever. You got me fucking.
So then I have to ask: Is calling?
I'm done, Tim. I'm done.
Okay, I'll move it on if that's what you want.
No,
But
I'm talking about change the goddamn subject. You're stupid.
well, let me ask you.
Bring Michael up here. Bring another black person. They'll tell you that you're fucking stupid.
We're going to do that. So is whites? Is that racist too?
Oh my fucking God. They're the ones that brought the race into
Oh,
this
my.
shit. They're the ones that call us blacks. You know, it's not racist to call white man white because shit, they are white. They call us blacks because they used it against us, you numbskull. It's slavery. Just like they say ninja. You dumb fuck.
So are you one that subscribes to the theory that?
How about porch? How about porch? How about that? Do you think that was a racist? I can't say the M word with it, but do you think that was fucking racist? How about cone? How about that, you numbskull? You don't think that was a fucking racist?
I think some of the terms you're mentioning are created by black people, like coon and some blacks are saying.
Oh my fucking God, coon was not created by black people, you numbskull. It was created by white people when they put us in a fucking damn cage. Oh my God, I swear to God, you truly don't know your fucking history. You really don't. And that is so goddamn sad because I know my history. I was brought up in a black household and you don't even know your goddamn history. You're fucking stupid.
All right.
You a numbnut, for real. You a numbnut. You think coon was invented by black people? Oh my fucking God. You are dumb as fucking bricks.
Okay. I will tell you, hearing the word coon used as a slur, which obviously I've been called a few times, it's always been by black people. I never had a white person call me that.
Uncle fucking ruckus on a good fucking damn day now. You are a rowdy fucking raccoon. You motherfucking dumb fuck.
Okay. All right. I got to move the program on. You've beat me up
You
enough.
know what, Tim? Let me say one more thing. You truly fucking need to get educated on your fucking black history because you're stupid. If you think coon was invented from white people, you're stupid. If you think blacks was invented and you don't think that wasn't a fucking racist slur, you're stupid.
I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Gangsta Grandma. Appreciate you coming through. All right, by the way, tap the screen, folks. This is uncensored programming. God damn it. If you didn't know, you know now. Tap the screen, get the likes on up to 20,000. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone for their comments. When we say we're all about free speech, you may not hear opinions you favor, but this is certainly where you can come and speak your piece without any concern of the host trying to dictate how you should think or your politics. So if you favor free speech and happen to be tuned in, watching us on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, feel free to follow the program. If you're watching on YouTube, give your boy a sub. We're here most weekdays. Listen, in brief continuance of what I was talking about with the last guest, fact is, some of that stuff in terms of seriousness, things that affect my day-to-day life, it's so far down on the radar that there's no way I could get as passionate about it as my last caller did. I mean, the term coon or black with an S onto it. Listen, I saw some folks in the comments agreeing with my last caller. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it's okay to use white as a plural, as in the whites have better credit or the whites can't dance, or I don't see how it's any different to use it in blacks. I don't buy that you can use it against. To me, it's not even using it against. If a bunch of folks that classify as white or a bunch of folks that classify as black are standing together, grammatically, it's just a derivative of the word to add the letter S to it. Blacks, whites. I don't see the racism in that. And I do believe that there can come a point where people yell racism so much that it can lose its meaning and value. Alter ego with the galaxy. Wow, starting the program off right. Thank you. And I agree with you in the comments. I think someone said double standards. I got to put on my spectacles. That was Mel Gillingham, I think. Yeah, I agree it's a double standard. But I'll tell you where that double standard derives from. There are people, particularly people of color, if that's not a racist thing to say, I don't know what they're. But anyway, blacks, people of color, African Americans, whatever you want to call it. There are people on that side of the aisle that believe that blacks cannot be racist. So you can say similar things towards whites that are okay, but it's racist if they say them towards you. I don't subscribe to that. I personally don't subscribe to that belief. Anyway, looking in the comments, moving on with the program, and tap the screen, get the likes up to 20,000. We'll take the next caller at 20,000. And if she wants to go back to slavery, she better look at her history, because majority of the slaves were actually dropped in South America and other countries before it ever came to North America. I don't know how much relevance that has with the slave trade in America, though, Florida Blondie. Yeah, she needs healing, forgiveness on her mistreated past. Damn. So they're using a 5-year-old boy as bait. Let's get back on track. the ICE agents in Minnesota rather, used a 5-year-old as bait apparently. And obviously you've seen a clip of an immigration attorney suggesting that ICE receives cash bonuses based on arrests, even if the arrests are not going to culminate into any kind of conviction, deportation, or anything. They actually get credited for every arrest is what we're hearing, which is terrible, by the way. And thank you for the TikTok cap there, Lewis. Appreciate that. So get us on up to 20,000. We'll take the next caller. Look in the comments here. I think this says Ideal Game 806 says hypocrites are everywhere on the left. I appreciate your support. When you say hypocrites are everywhere on the left, I would take out the last 3 words of that. Hypocrites are everywhere, period. You don't see any hypocrisy on the right. Remember when Trump was yelling how the DOJ was weaponized by Biden? You don't think he's doing the same thing now? I mean, there's plenty of hypocrisy on both sides of the aisle. If your issue is you don't like political hypocrisy and you get away from the left, you're not escaping political hypocrisy by going right. It's a whole lot of things that Trump is doing as we speak that was viewed from an adversarial position when Biden or Obama was doing it. Now that Trump is doing it, it's suddenly okay. So you're not going to escape hypocrisy by switching sides. This is what they voted for, says Tamar, and it says them too. They do agree with that. They do agree. Violation of the 4th Amendment. That's the amendment that protects us against unwarranted searches and seizures. I don't know. This boy, this 5-year-old being allegedly used as bait in Minnesota. I don't know. Let me know how it violates the 4th Amendment. It sounds like his dad was a legitimate arrest in terms of being in the country with no right to be here. However, the arrest seems incredibly unnecessary. His dad was an asylum seeker who was going through the legal process to put in an asylum claim and stay in this country. As you may know, the Trump administration, upon becoming president, just basically took every asylum claim in existence and just said, we're not going to accept any of these. We're not even just like with the January 6th pardons, we're not even going to do research on this. We're just going to go this way. So all the asylum folks got to go. That don't mean they're here illegally, though. They became illegal once Trump did that. But this guy was going through the normal legal process, so they could have gotten him, they could have picked him up when he went to court. Could have called him into court in regards to his case and actually detained him there, like they've done with a lot of other folks. There was no reason to detain this guy, or better yet, arrest him in front of his kid. This was unnecessary trauma that the son had to experience. Looking in the comments, not true. Black conservative perspective on a 5-year-old. And there's a difference between backtracking on ideas and being hypocritical. So you're against something when Obama does it. And when Trump starts doing it, you suddenly are, quote unquote, backtracking on your ideas. That's very convenient. I'm not being hypocritical. My thought process just evolved. Yeah, that's okay. All right. If you want to try to replace that ain't gonna work with me, Ideal. I don't buy that. But if you want to suggest that, well, we're not being hypocritical. We're just backtracking. What we talk about Hunter Biden making money under his dad's name, and all of a sudden now Trump's kids are making a ton of money under his name. You're backtracking on. It ain't being hypocrites. It's backtracking. Is that what we're doing now? Well, we've evolved, and now we're okay with the kids of presidents making money. Backtracking. Let me go. Are we at 20,000? Yeah, we'll go ahead and take the next caller. Backtracking on ideals. You learn something every day. That's a new one. I've never heard that one before. We'll go back to the box, and that will be MJ the second. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Using a 5-year-old as bait. Wow. If it brings them up, MJ, good evening. Welcome to the program. Have you heard about this story?
The fucking frozen ground turkey.
MJ, are you there?
I can make pasta.
MJ. Okay,
Tim, what's going on?
apparently he's not there. We'll move on. Looking in the comments, we'll go straight to Lewis. Make that happen. Good evening. By the way, folks, help your boy out with the TikTok cap goal. You know, I always have to do that for support. So support the show. Help us out with the TikTok cap goal. Lewis, good evening.
Hey Tim, I gotta say it, man. I know Gangsta Grandma, sometimes you just anger on. I'm pulling over right quick. But anyway,
Oh shit, what did I do wrong?
I mean, you don't use the term blacks.
What about whites?
You don't use that either. Nobody's saying that that's right because blacks is wrong. We're just saying you don't do that when you're talking about a person's. Like if you said black people or white people, that's how you say the S part that you're talking about. You just add people.
So if somebody said you blacks can play the hell out of some basketball, you really think that person is a racist?
I think that's a racist term. I don't mean they're
How?
racist. They're just like you. They're just ignorant.
I don't.
And I hope you don't think me saying you're ignorant. I'm not saying
Don't
that
worry
you're
about it. Look,
ignorant.
this is an uncensored show. You can say anything you want, but no. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
Go
you know
ahead.
I know. Why you got to say that? You know I know that, Tim.
Okay.
I know it's an uncensored show. But my thing is what I mean by that is that when I say ignorant, I mean that means you just don't know. You feel what I'm saying? You just don't know that that's offensive to black people. Once someone says that's offensive, just accept it. And that's what's wrong with our society. We don't accept each other for what's expensive. We try to justify our own behavior and how we feel about it. So if someone says that it's offensive to them, just accept that.
Let me ask it to you this way: do blacks ever refer to themselves in that way?
I don't think black people ever consider themselves. We don't say blacks. We'll say black people. We'll say black brothers, black sisters, or black.
So but we do say whites.
It's not the same black part that you're getting mixed up. It's blacks, S with an S on the end of it. Get them blacks over there and get them in line.
Well, wait a minute. No, wait. Now, when you add all of that to it, then yeah, you could say get them African Americans over there and get them in line. Get them people over there and get them in line. All of that's going to be it.
And everybody would accept that. I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. You're telling me if a white person said get them African Americans over there and get them in line, black people would accept that?
No, I don't think they would. I don't
Why?
think that. I think because we have to all try to be sensitive. Like a good example, and I catch myself doing it too, Tim. And it's just from a lot of etiquette classes and stuff like that. It's just that you have to think how it's going to affect the other person. Like a good example, I mean, you just don't say blacks. You just don't say.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing Gangsta Grandma. I mean,
let me tell you, Tim, let me tell you something. Say you were standing over there with a lot of your black friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody said to you, and you might be the one that it doesn't affect. But if you look over and you got 5 black guys standing over there, and somebody said, "Could you go over there and tell those blacks to sit down?"
I think, but the point I'm making is hold on. The point I'm making is this. Hold on, hang on. The point. Wait a minute. The point I'm making is it ain't the term black. It's all the shit you say after that, because I can replace black with colored, African American, whatever, and that term would still be offensive. What you just said.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So that's why you don't say it. And my thing is that if you say go over there and tell them boys to sit down over there, you don't have to bring the color into it at all. You just say those boys.
To me, and this goes back to what I was trying to tell her as well. To me, when you look at all of the ways racism has plagued this country, this is so far down in the weeds to me that it really dilutes the word. I mean,
and I agree with you 100% that she's definitely, but she's just trying to. Tim, who's the professional? Who's supposed to be the professional when we come into your site? Us or you?
Neither. I make it clear I'm not a know-it-all. That's why I believe in free speech, so we can exchange ideas.
that's one of the biggest things I have, because you have such an open forum that you could never be fully educated on everything that you let these people talk about.
Right. And I don't plan to, and I don't pretend to be. I want to hear your side of every issue.
But every other site, people stick with the issues. That's why they put stuff up in the back, so that they just stick just to that point and they don't lose track of their. That's why and I'm not knocking you, Tim. I love you, man. I'm telling you something right now.
Thank you.
You know what I love about you the most? You know what I love about you the most, Tim?
That I'm one of the blacks. What do you got?
That you are the black that actually keeps everybody real when it comes to that.
Thank you.
To those kind of issues.
Thank you.
Because we all could do better. We all could be better. And this is a perfect example, is that you have to be better and don't let someone else do the same thing that you just let that guy get away with. You can't let people say stuff like that because you said that. Because now you know that that's offensive to someone. Not to everybody, but to someone.
But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, Lewis. I think when anytime you have a white person discussing African Americans, I think there's going to be some black people that are going to find anything they say offensive. Now, Alter Ego asked a really good question. He said, how about if I said blacks make up 13% of the population? Now, he has with an S on it. Blacks make up 13% of the population. Is that a racist term?
No, because you're not talking about an individual. He's not talking about a person.
Okay,
He's
so
talking about a statistic.
This is complicated. So in other words, you can use the term blacks as long as it ain't about just one person.
Or a group, excuse me, or a group of people. Like say, if
What?
you say, tell those blacks to sit down over there, sit down. You don't have to do that. You can say, tell those people to sit down over there, and everybody still would know who you're talking about.
But if a person says tell those blacks to sit down, that means they hate black people.
No, it's mean that they're singling out their race, and that's what makes it bad. You shouldn't have to single out people's race to change their behavior.
I don't. To me, yeah, we got to. I mean, there's a lot of real racism going. This is to me, this is child's play compared to what some people do. That's real shit. I think when we go down this far,
I'm not saying it's child's play, but I'm telling you now, every little thing matters to someone. It doesn't matter to everybody. If you said that to me, I wouldn't think nothing about it.
I wouldn't either.
But I guarantee you that there's going to be, you got a couple more heavy hitters coming up here. I guarantee you they're going to set your ass straight. I'm telling you now, Tim.
Well,
I can't wait to Dan Cal come. He going to tear your ass up. I'm telling you right now that don't you dare bring Mo Better up here, because she going to really tear your ass up. I'm telling you right now.
Can't get no worse than Gangsta Grandma.
Shit, Mo Better can be pretty tough too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, MXX in the comment, one of my viewers, MXX, says, Tim, I find it difficult that they have to explain this to you in such depth. I'm finding it difficult that it means that much.
I am too, Tim. I'm gonna be honest with you, Tim. I swear, man, you should have never took your ass to Australia. But I'm gonna tell you right now is that I'm gonna tell you something. You are. My son, when he was in college, my son went to a very prestigious private school, right?
Okay.
all his friends were from right outside of Philly or right around the Philly area. So they were all hood boys, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what they called my son, who grew up in the suburbs his whole life, and he was a privileged black kid?
What?
You know what they called my son on campus?
What?
The blackest white kid they ever met.
I don't hear what
You're the blackest host. You're the whitest host. You're the whitest.
What am I, Wayne Brady? All of a sudden, what am I, Wayne Brady? What the hell?
You're the white version. You're the black version of Wayne Brady. You're right. You absolutely are. You definitely are. Probably didn't get no pussy till you were probably like 19 or 20. You know, something like that. I guarantee you did. But you know what I'm saying? Maybe because your grandma probably just kept your ass.
Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Well, listen, I've been around. You mentioned Australia.
If you ever hurt grandma, Gangsta Grandma, to where she says she's not coming back on your show again, Tim, I'm coming to get you, man.
How could I possibly hurt her? I let her say any fucking thing she want to say.
There's no, yeah, I know, but you heard her. One night, about a few weeks ago, You really you had her hurt. You had her hurt.
Well, listen, we were talking about stuff like domestic abuse and shit like that, and I told her women some women lie about being a victim, and she didn't like that.
I knew that she was a domestic violence recovery person.
That doesn't change. That does not change the fact that plenty of women lie about being great. Plenty of women lie about being a victim.
It does, Tim. It does.
No, it does not.
I think men, but it's a topic that I think men, even hosts, if you don't have two women up here and let them discuss it, I think anything with that kind of stuff is left. That's women's issue.
I gotta vehemently disagree with you, because when women lie about that, the man is the one that's generally the victim. Men should be able to discuss that they get pinned.
Then you should only comment on the man's feelings about it.
Wait a minute. So when women are violated, we shouldn't comment on what they have to go through at all, huh? We shouldn't side with them or sympathize with them at all. Only with men.
Now, see, there's a difference. I don't sympathize with none of them, but because I don't use that word sympathize. I use the word empathy. Empathy is an understanding.
Then have some empathy. Have some empathy for the fact that plenty of men get cases pinned on them that they did not deserve to have pinned on them.
And I have a lot of sympathy for them. I'm telling you. But Tim, how many times? I know you didn't get none until you probably was like 21 or 22 or 23 years old.
What the fuck?
How many times were you with a girl and you were trying to get you a little taste, and she said no, but you kept going and you end up getting it?
Such conversations shouldn't be had over the internet, is what I've been told. Look, there's plenty of times. Hold on, hang on. No, I didn't miss your point. No, I did not miss your point. How many? That would be like. Hold on. There would be like if a woman wants some, and you're sleeping, and she starts putting parts of you in her mouth, and you're like, "No, baby, I got to get up and go to work in the morning." And she continues doing it a second time before finally your nose turn her away. That's also great. We don't hold women accountable for that shit.
I think that's because men don't report it.
Because nobody's going to take them seriously.
Tim, when I worked in law enforcement, I'm gonna tell you something. I went to men's homes, and the women beat the shit out of the man. You hear what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then he hits her one time, and then she calls the cops, and guess who goes to jail?
The man usually goes to jail no matter what, damn near.
No, not if he doesn't have any bruises, and he's the only one that's got bruises.
And even that, what you're saying right now is something that is recent, maybe the last decade or so. Usually when the cops are called for a DV, the man is the one that they view as hostile.
Tim, you're an old head, but I'm an old head. I'm 67 years old. Okay. I know what you're talking about. I do know that. Trust me, it happens to me. I got to the point where when me and my old lady, I had my last ex-wife, we used to go at it. Because she was from Philly, man. That bitch could box. You hear what I'm saying? She could fight. She could thump. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
She's not one of those people. She's not one of those people you can slap and think she ain't gonna slap your ass back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, I gotta get out of that shit. Any time a woman even threatens me, the relationship is over with, because I know I don't feel confident that the law is going to treat it fairly.
So you learn to do that. Soon as my wife and me get to arguing, I'd be already done call 911. I'm the one calling 911. You hear what I'm saying? I don't even give her a chance to do it. I'm calling before we even get started. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And they know that I made that phone call because I know what's going to go down. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you have to do. That's what we all have to do as men too. And remember that you are going to go to jail. You definitely can beat her. I think any man, even if your wife hit you, you should avoid hitting her back.
And see, that right there is bullshit, because we're telling you, hold on, hear me out. I think this whole never put your hands on a woman movement has created a whole series of violent women, because look, I'm not going to hit a dude that's significantly stronger and bigger than I am. They don't make a lot of those, but I'm not going to hit a dude that's much bigger and stronger than, because I know you got smaller women not afraid to hit dudes that are twice as strong as they are, because they don't expect to get hit back, or they expect the law to protect him. You wouldn't see Kevin Hart attack Shaquille O'Neal because he know the law ain't gonna help his ass out. You wouldn't see Jennifer Aniston attack Queen Latifah because she know that. But Jennifer Aniston might go and attack The Rock because The Rock is gonna go to jail.
Will Smith would have never went up on that stage and slapped 50 cents either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but that's the point. But that's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm making. By telling women that they can't get hit back, we've created a much more violent group of women than say would have existed before that was around.
And I definitely didn't want to imply that you did anything wrong that night when grandma said that. But I knew the shit was finna hit the fan because I knew she had mentioned earlier shows, maybe even last year sometime, that she was sexually abused. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why I say that's when Tim should have went like, okay, we're not going to go there. Because you know that you and I know, Tim, that women falsely report.
It shouldn't be wrong for a man to tell a woman that.
I think that men know that women falsely report.
Yeah, but it should. But when you tell a woman that, you get the pushback that she gave. It shows women don't have empathy for male victims of that shit. They just want to be. They want you to have empathy for what they're going through, but they have no empathy for what you're going through.
And that's why I think with Gangsta Grandma being your number one. Man, I'm telling you, she makes your show, bro. Whether you want to admit it or not. God damn it, everybody. There ain't nobody. How many people you got in here?
I don't know.
You got 150 some people in here, 170 some people now. I guarantee you that 104 of them came to see Gangsta Grandma.
No, I can tell you something. Hold on, hang on. I got twice as more than that when you go to my YouTube platforms that we're currently on right now, and they hate Gangsta Grandma.
Yeah, but those are your MAGA people. There ain't no.
Yes, we love the MAGA people too. They're part of the program.
Let me ask you something, Tim. Are you left or right?
I'm right-handed. Oh, you mean politically?
You a Wayne Brady motherfucker. I don't give a shit what nobody said.
It went over my head. It went over my head.
This is a political site. I ain't talking about your goddamn left hand. You ain't goddamn a picture. Who you think with an MLB? With an MLB website or something? MLB Live or some shit?
Well, is Wayne Brady going to have to smack a bitch? Listen, I lean left of center. Okay? I lean left of center, all right? I lean left of center.
All right. Well, but my thing is like this here. I definitely know that. So do I. And because I'm not far left and I'm not far, I'm right in that middle, but I lean left because I am sympathetic to other people's needs. Mm-hmm. And that's why I vote to blue, because they think they do more to help the less fortunate than myself. That's the only reason I vote for them. But do I personally, financially, and everything else benefit more from the conservative side of things? I probably do personally. You know what I'm saying? But that's personal. But because I'm an old man now and half my time on this planet is probably gone, I'm more concerned with
you. 64. You 64. You think it's probably halfway gone? Shit. Yeah, man, you probably too. Shit.
Hey, man, the only thing I do wrong in life, Tim, is I smoke a little weed because I don't want to take pain pills.
Nothing wrong with that, but let me make it clear before I move it on. 2/3 of your life is gone. You might be in the last 25% of it. You lost a lot more than half.
I think I'm making it to 127. You know what I'm saying? You kind of like got that shit wrong. But I'm telling you, bro. I'm just telling you.
127.
I never make it over 100. So you're right. It's probably is 1/3.
Yeah.
But my thing is this right here. I'm just saying that we need to stick to the issues when it comes to MAGA, and I can't think of the other guy's name too, Straight Facts or whatever his name.
You talking about some of my MAGA viewers? You talking about Straight Talk Commerce?
Yeah, they really bring me down, man. I could be on Just Not Smoke me a nice fatty, and I'm telling you right now, they just bring me down so far, man. You know what I'm saying? That oh man, it's bringing me down.
You're not a fan of. You don't agree with MAGA. I mean, listen, I get MAGA to say that you guys bring them down too.
There are some MAGA people, and I go into MAGA sites. I can follow you into them sometime, and I'm gonna tell you something. That's why I say most people need to follow you, and then follow you when you're not in your own site. Don't just come there when you're hosting a live. I understand what you're doing, Tim. It's brilliant. I understand what you're doing. I'll just put it. And I think if more people would go over to other sites, even if it's a liberal site, with you, they'll get what you're doing.
I'm almost out when I'm not on my own sites. I'm generally in concern. I rarely go to liberal sites. I got to move it on though, Lewis. Last word.
Yeah. My thing is like this here. We got this little boy in a detention center in a total state where they know nobody in that state. He's no longer. It's happening, Tim.
What's happening?
It's happening.
What's happening?
He is Project 2025 is happening right now. We're right in the middle of it, and it's happening. We are in a genocide. I'm telling you right now. He is getting these brown and black people out of here that are not born in this country, and now he's even starting to get people out of this country. That little boy was born in this country. He's an American citizen.
Well, he's not due to be deported. Where's his mom at?
He's in a detention center. His mom probably is an illegal also, along with his dad.
So he's an anger baby. He's what they call an anger baby.
Absolutely. So when they definitely gonna send the dad out of here, even though they're gonna let him finish his immigration process.
If both of his parents are end up getting I guess detained and deported, they're gonna kick him out. They're not even gonna try to find any relatives of his. He's gone. I gotta move it on though, man. Yeah, you're right about that. Though.
They had relatives. They took him. There were relatives there to take him, and they wouldn't let him. They
gonna kick him out. Yeah, they gonna absolutely kick him out. Appreciate it, Lewis. I gotta go. Looking in the comments, Ideal says, how do I join the call list? If you come on the Handsome Liberal on TikTok or on Instagram, we're also on Instagram. We bring you right up. The Handsome Liberal across all platforms. Certainly come through. We'll bring you up without hesitation. Looking in the comments, he's deporting white Europeans too. I haven't seen much of that. I assume there's a few of them. That ain't happening much. In fact, ICE is not even going to neighborhoods where white people are at. So, I guess he might grab one or so just for show, but no, he's not really deporting white people. That ain't happening. Sure, we'd love to all the Canadians back. We'll take the Ukrainians in Canada also. Don't know quite what you're trying to say there, Shadow. Trump deported Macho. Well, just imagine if we went to another country illegally, what do you think they're going to do? How do you think this country got founded, Florida Blondie? It was literally founded by us posing as illegal immigrants and overstaying our welcome. So what are you talking about? We actually, you want to talk about Muslims with Sharia law or Hispanics coming here and taking over? We can talk about them doing it. We actually did it. That's how this country was founded, by immigrants from England doing all the stuff that you think they might do. We actually did that stuff. Well, just imagine we had free health care and paid time off from work like other countries too, since we are dropping the Exceptionalism Act. I like that. Loch Ness Monster. White people forget that they immigrated here, nothing new. I'll leave it at that. I agree with you, by the way. Real quick in the comments before we continue on, tap the screen, get us on up to 50,000. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap goal. Certainly need a bit of inspiration. I've been attacked a lot today. Ideal, I see you coming over to TikTok or Instagram. We'll bring you up. Speaking of which, we'll try that. Detain them for what, though? They are native to America. I don't quite get what you're saying there. I had an Instagram viewer I was trying to bring up. I don't know if it's going to let it. Foundational white Americans. What does it mean by that? There you go. Good evening. Welcome to the program off of Instagram. What is the name there again?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yes, sir.
So my Instagram name is Dang Enemy.
Dang Enemy.
Yeah.
Okay. What brought you on? What am I getting wrong?
Well, maybe I wasn't very clear in one of my super chats. Was when I was talking about how, maybe when we try an idea and we put it into practice, at first it's okay and good, but maybe then after trying it for so long or doing it wrong, we try to try to backtrack and say, okay, this was a bad idea.
Give me an example. Give me an example.
Like, for example, Trump was very openly pro-LGBT, but to certain people, I'll say, damaging the community's image, he had to backtrack and withdraw his support of it.
Okay, your audio, I'm having a hard time making out what you're saying. You said Trump was what again?
I was saying Trump was very open to the LGBT community. There was this one photo he took where he was
Holding the flag. Yeah.
LGBT for Trump.
Okay. Are you okay? There's still a few members of the LGBTQ community that identify as MAGA. Do you think Trump has been? Huh?
That's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is that he kind of backtracked his support of it and he downed it a little bit because of all the negative rhetoric it was getting.
You're saying that Trump backtracked his support of the LGBTQ community? Is that what you're telling me?
Not fully, because thankfully we still have sane members of the LGBT community still, trying to save the community.
Wait. You think that Trump, in some way, shape, or form, supports the LGBTQ community right now as we speak?
Not as much as he did earlier. Because, like I said, he had given it his full support, but then, like I said, after the constant negative rhetoric, it got kind of bad for him to be on that side. So he's kind of like walked it back a little bit. That's what I meant.
Negative rhetoric from who?
Certain trans people trying to, say that because they identify as women, they can use the women's restrooms, or we had too many people walking in women's restrooms where they were showing off their male genitalia to women.
Here's where I'm baffled. I cannot think of anything that Trump has ever done to suggest he supports the LGBTQ community at all, other than take their votes. He had a campaign and he waved a flag around because he wanted them to vote for him. But in terms of policy, I can't think of anything he's done to show that he supports them.
Well, like I said, it was just him holding a flag saying LGBT for Trump. That was my sign that said he had their full support. I don't know either. Maybe I don't know what else he did for them. Like I'm kind of like you. I'm not fully into politics. I much rather work out, go to work, and play video games and watch anime.
How has Trump done? What do you think of Trump as a president so far? It's been a year.
I was so far. I really can't grade him much on it, but currently I can only give him at least a B-.
B as in boy.
A grade B-.
Okay, but you're saying the letter B-. B as in boy, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now you're African American, right?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure because some of the folks on the other platforms cannot see that. You're giving him a B-, which is slightly above average. What has he done, in your opinion, to earn that grade?
For me, it's what I voted for. So I voted for him to get rid of these illegal migrants that are bleeding our resources dry, that refuse to assimilate to our country laws and our culture, and to put more money into all of our pockets, basically.
Have you seen more money in your pocket during the Trump administration?
In the first term, I did.
Yeah.
I can't say for certain for his second term because we're not feeling the full effects of all of his programs yet.
How do you respond to folks who suggest that Trump is anti-black? Like he's been pretty critical of Juneteenth. He didn't acknowledge Martin Luther King's Day the other day. Does any of that?
I would call them ignorant or liars.
You would call Go ahead.
I would call them ignorant or liars.
Okay.
Because here's the thing: how are you going to erase the history this man had with the black community in the 70s, 80s, and even 90s? How is it that you have several black rap artists positively referencing this man in their songs?
Yeah. But you don't believe people can change? I mean, just like a racist can grow to realize the error of his ways, some people can say, after all the experience I've had with blacks, I don't like him no more. You do realize people from the 70s and 80s,
Yeah,
which
I understand that something like that can happen, but what would Trump have to experience or go through to have this type of feeling? Because I don't see it with him. I've never seen it. I've never seen anything that would give Trump a negative racial impression of black people.
I just asked you, how do you feel about him suggesting that Juneteenth needs to go away and not acknowledging MLK Day?
Well, I don't know if that's true about the MLK Day thing, but I will somewhat agree that, yeah, Juneteenth, this feels like a handout to the black community just so we can vote blue still.
You think giving blacks a holiday would make them vote for somebody? That's all you had to do is give them 1 day off of work in a 365-day year, and that would change their vote?
Based on what I've seen and what I've heard from fellow other blacks, sadly, yes.
The blacks. That's what you've heard from the blacks. So let me, I guess I'd ask it to you this way. If you gave MAGA 1 day off work, let's say Kamala Harris decided to give MAGA Charlie Kirk Day, that would make them vote for Kamala Harris?
Not really.
So why would it work on the other way?
Well, because one, I don't think. Wait, hang on. I think I got confused by the question.
You're okay. I'll clear it up for you. You suggested that they gave Juneteenth to blacks because it was going to. They thought it was going to. It was a giveaway to blacks, is what you called it, to get a vote. So I'm asking if Kamala Harris gave away Charlie Kirk Day to MAGA, would that have got her a vote?
As I think about it, it probably would, but not as much. Not as much.
So you think some MAGA would have voted for Kamala Harris if she had said, "I'll give you Charlie Kirk Day"?
Wait, are you just saying downright people who are just pro MAGA, regardless of race?
Yeah, I mean, period.
Then no. And here's why I say no to that, because most MAGA people, they don't forget things. They still to this day have not forgotten how Tulsi Gabbard roasted Kamala Harris in the 2020 presidential debate. Most people have not forgotten how others had pulled up Kamala Harris's history of her shady dealings, of her bad policy, and corrupt judging.
So you're saying most MAGA are not very forgetful.
Correct.
So then I would ask you, do they recall J.D. Vance saying that Trump is like Hitler, or what Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham said about Trump, said he's a dictator? Do they still remember that?
Yeah, but here's another thing. There's a difference between I can't speak for all MAGA because I'm not fully a MAGA person myself, but I can speak on behalf of at least, people who are down the middle, conservative, or true liberals, not fake liberal leftists. Is that we don't conform to a hive mind where no matter what you've done in the past, we'll just forget because right now you said something we agree and like. I mean, that's like, for example, I could slap you in the face and tomorrow I'll give you gold and say, hey, be my friend. I mean, would you honestly be friends with someone who slapped you in the face yesterday and gave you gold tomorrow?
I mean, that's what J.D. Vance is doing with Trump. I mean, he went from "you're very much like Hitler" to "can I be your vice president?"
And from what I've seen and heard is that, you know, he's kind of apologized and admitted that he was wrong about him after, you know, having a good conversation with the guy.
So I can't slap you in the face and then give you gold and get your forgiveness tomorrow, but I can call you Hitler and apologize, and you're okay with it.
Well, yeah, because like I said, it's all about, you know, admitting when you're wrong about someone or something. I can say that you are a race traitor, and tomorrow we have a long conversation, and I realize, no, you're just a average black man who's just trying to survive this country and deal with everyday politicking problems. And after understanding that from you, I can get on the internet and say I was wrong about the handsome liberal.
Okay.
I can admit to being wrong about something.
Okay.
That's the problem here we have in our country.
But here's the problem. You're admitting that people can change, but yet when it came to President Trump, you're suggesting that he can't be racist because of what he did in the 70s and 80s, some 50 years ago. Maybe he changed as well, just changed for the worse.
But here's my question. What was it that he went through that made him change? What has he done that has proven to be actual forms of racism and not just some BS leftist talking point that says he's racist without facts or proof?
I don't know what Trump has done in life that could have caused him to change, but we can see and hear what he's saying. Everything from whites should have discrimination cases, meanwhile taking down black history. I've given you the MLK and Juneteenth examples. I mean, he's letting in white immigrants while kicking out black and brown. I mean, there is things that's happening. His administration is pretty much.
I can assure you this. When it came to the so-called white immigrants, they're the ones that are, you know, doing it the legal way. Hell, they're even uploading how they're getting their green cards, they're getting their U.S. citizenship, they're doing it all the right way. You then had some rich immigrant who said he bought the gold visa.
You're going to tell me those white South Afrikaner immigrants that came by way of Elon Musk are doing it the right way when they didn't even have a visa put in under the Biden administration? They went from nothing to in America in less than 3 months, skipping the line and everything. You call that the right way?
No, I'm not talking about those guys.
That's who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the 59 white people that got to skip the line and was in the country within a matter of months. What about them?
Well, I believe they should go too.
They're not going though. He let them stay.
I don't know if that's true or not because the mainstream media has lied to us repeatedly. So I can't really trust anything that they say. Or
let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question that's a little bit off topic. Who won the 2020 election?
Joe Biden.
Okay, so what is Trump talking about?
He's talking about he got cheated out of it.
How can he get cheated if Biden won?
Trump believes that they inflated the votes, where there were actually more votes for Trump than there were for Biden. And look, I disagree with that idea. Okay? Because I honestly think that, you know, due to the act of COVID and everything, most people were just saying, okay, I'll vote for Biden, because most people were just hooked on the lie during
but okay, fair. So you do believe Trump is lying then about the 2020 election? Huh?
I wouldn't say lying. You know what? Let me take that back. Yeah, I do think he is lying.
And you give a guy who lied and tried to steal an election a B-?
No, because I give him a B- on his performance of what he was doing during his second term. For his first term, I would say it's more of a B, not a B- nor not a B+.
Okay, you said so. Do you believe, based on what you're saying, that he tried to lie about the election? Do you think that should have disqualified him from being able to run again?
Not really, no, because I personally believe that it was a harmless lie, or he was probably. Look, I'm gonna say this about Trump. I believe Trump is very egotistical, very prideful, and a narcissist, where he thinks he's this I'm Mr. Great type of guy, when he's just a billionaire. That's all he is. And he thinks that everybody loves him.
Yeah, but okay, you're saying him telling Mike Pence not to certify the election. I mean, obviously we can discuss whatever the hell that was on January 6th, but you're admitting it was all over something that he got wrong. And you're saying that there should have been no type of punishment or type of discipline for that at all?
No. I mean, like, him saying that, that he got cheated out of it. I mean, like, maybe there is some truth to that. Maybe he did get cheated out of it. We don't know, because no one's doing any investigations.
Well, he was president for 2 months after that election, and now he's been president for a whole year. Why hasn't he done an investigation?
I have no freaking clue why. I mean,
but you don't think he should have. But you don't think he should have. So
he hasn't done anything about the Epstein list.
So you believe that a president of the United States can tell his vice president not to certify an election based on no proof of anything, and that shouldn't cause him to face any discipline at all?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
What I was saying is, he should, if he feels or believes that something ain't right, he should have someone look into it and say, hold on, we're trying to investigate something here, because something doesn't feel right with how Delaware went full blue over.
He did have somebody look into it. His attorney general. He had 60 court cases. I mean, people did look into it, and they came back and told him, sir, what you think happened didn't happen.
But hang on, I'm trying to remember and think about that right there now, because from what I've recalled is that it was dismissed basically, because there was no precedence to think that this was an unfair election.
No, let me clear it up. This guy right here, this is his attorney general, Jim Barr. This book is titled One Damn Thing After Another. He wrote in this book that he stated that what Trump was claiming was bullshit. This is the top cop at the time. This is the guy that would be responsible, would have subpoena power and everything to look into what Trump was saying and get testimony. This guy said he told Trump, you didn't win and the claims you're making are not accurate. And yet, after all of that, he still tried to have Mike Pence not certify the election.
Okay, so here's my question then. Why is it that during the 2020 election, we had saw things like people boarding up windows so they can't see how they're doing the count? We've never had anything like that during Obama. We've never had anything like that during Bush. We've never had people trying to hide voting counts. We've never had mail-in ballots to this degree. Now, I get it. Yeah, we were under COVID lockdown, but still, there were a lot of things that that raised an eyebrow.
Well, I do got to move it on, unfortunately, but I'll just tell you this: just because something raises an eyebrow or look suspicious, and maybe you're pointing to something that did look suspicious, that don't give you the right to say, because this looks suspicious, you are guilty of fraud or committing some kind of crime, which is election fraud. You don't, just because they don't have their windows open, don't give you the right to automatically assume that election fraud is taking place. You can't just make that leap. Last word.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like they literally boarded and
I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is just because they literally boarded the windows does not automatically equate to election fraud is taking place. You got to prove what you're talking about.
Well, which is why, you know, I don't think that there was a proper investigation to begin with. Because if you're going to say, well, we found nothing out of the ordinary, and yet we see them doing something shady or never done before, that's even a bigger eyebrow. Because I'm gonna say this about, you know, Trump's choice of staff in his first term election. And it's kind of the reason why I gave him a B at the time, because he did have some people lying to him. Like, for example, they lied to him about how many troops were over in the Middle East.
I'm not going. Wait, hold on. I'm not going to give him any type of mercy for you hired bad people that are lying to you. So I'm going to have empathy on you because you picked bad appointees. That's his fault.
No, I think that's the reason why I gave him a B. Look, if he hired the right people, I probably would have given him an A- at best.
Okay.
For his first term.
All right, I got to move it on. I'll leave it at that. Come on back through anytime, man. Good talk. Appreciate it. All right, moving on with the thank you. Moving on with the show, by the way, tap the screen over back to TikTok as well. Instagram, we do take callers on Instagram, which is where you heard that caller. Looking at the comments here real quick. Why are we spamming pride flags? Is that the case? Unfortunately, I do see that. I don't like to block and ban people, but when folks are doing it over and over again, you don't leave me a choice but to do something about it. So looking in the comments here real quick, though, MAGA ain't shit. Oh, my God. Will G says MAGA ain't shit. It's a real dance they're doing. Well, sometimes you gotta deal with some of the dance and tap the screen. Help your boy out with the TikTok cap go. We're not that far away, are we not? Help your boy out. That was rough, sis, tomorrow. Listen, that was Black MAGA. I'll tell you something. Based on what I've seen, Black MAGA is very satisfied with the performance of Trump. He's not the only one. Most Black MAGA feel that Trump is doing a good job. He's giving him a B-, or at least a B, I think he said. So there it goes. Tim, I think you should identify as libertarian, not liberal. I'm not libertarian. I do lean left of center. I'm pro minimum wage increase, pro choice. I got probably a hell of a lot more empathy for what's going on with the immigrants than anybody on the right and many in the middle. I carry, but I also am pro common sense gun laws. I don't think a blind man with no limbs should be able to go out and buy an AR. I am not like Bernie Sanders, AOC, Mamdani left, but some issues I do lean left of center. And I'm pro LGBTQ as well. So I lean left of center despite what Gangsta Grandma often says. Thank you, Mike. Why is the right complaining about pride flags when they are 98% broke back mountain? What are you suggesting? That the right has a bunch of gay people? Is that what you're trying to tell me? There is a lot of these channels now. People get on here to bash on controversial topics for views. Even the older generations are doing it. It's sad. Now, I will say this, and that's what we try to avoid doing here. We want everybody to be able to speak. Bashing will come when you bring everybody from all sides politically together. But here's one thing I want to point out to D Magician, is that you're seeing people get on these channels now to bash on controversial topics and views. Even the older generations are doing it. What the fuck you think we elected? He's 80 and he does it every goddamn day. So what do you expect? This is why I keep telling folks, leadership starts from the top. If the president does a lot of bashing, it's going to trickle down to the people. You're never going to have a unified country under a divisive administration. He calls Nikki Haley bird brain. Guess what MAGA calls Nikki Haley? He calls Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. Guess what they call her? Even Marjorie Taylor Greene, when asked, how the hell can you say the death threats you're getting are coming from MAGA? Her response is, because they're calling me the same names he is. So you're not going to ever get a unified country when the leadership is divisive. They did reinvestigate. Biden won more votes. The problem with the investigations of the 2020 election is they're not going to accept any investigation unless it's pro-Trump. Georgia did like 3 recounts, and Georgia's a conservative state under Governor Kemp. They just won't accept him. I mean, he had like 60 court cases. They just, unless the investigation turns out positive for Trump, they're just going to keep saying the person doing the investigation is an Obama or a Clinton appointee, or they're a left-wing liberal, or they're far. They're not going to accept anything unless it is pro-Trump, unless the outcome is favorable to Trump. They're just not going to accept it. Let me go back to the box, and we'll continue on the program with Mike, the boss. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Release them Biden diaries. You're not going to ever Biden diaries. I thought the guy was unable to string together a sentence, didn't know where the hell he's at. I mean, and he has cancer as well. Why the fuck we still focusing on Biden? Is there a little bit of derangement syndrome in the house? Mike, good evening.
Happy Friday there, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you.
And listen, it's 187 people in here. We're going to get off that number. I don't like that 187. Let's get up to 188, 288. Let's get off 187.
Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with a good 187 every now and then.
Man, shit, not in this country. No, sir. No, sir. Listen, to Stephen, that was on the other brother. I told you, black are going to be the last ones going down with SS MAGA, like the Titanic. I told you, Tim. They're going to be the last ones.
Why do you believe, I guess I get this, why do you believe black MAGA still remains so satisfied with Trump, if that's the case?
Because, you know, sometimes that black pride can be the unaliving of you, right? And you know, the one thing most men have a problem with is admitting they're wrong, apologizing, and accepting that. And this is just another one of those circumstances right here. The crazy part is they have nowhere else to come back to.
Yeah, see, Debo in the comments says they know they can't come back home. Are you telling me you wouldn't take Nicki Minaj and let her hang around the cookout?
I wouldn't take Nicki Minaj. I wouldn't take my own mom. Listen, I mean what I say when I say that shit. My own mama. Yeah, you got to go over there. Sorry, mama.
So if mama voted for Trump, voted and was hanging out with MAGA, you're gonna permanently disown mama.
I'm good. I'm good.
That's cold.
That's a hard one on my end because it would be impossible. But I'm gonna tell you what though, Tim. I'm gonna tell you this. My grandmother's 104 now. She's turned 104. Mm-hmm. My grandmother.
Okay.
And she's seeing what's going on, and she can barely watch it.
Yeah, she yeah. For somebody that's African American and that old, she's seeing a lot of reversing. She's seeing things go backwards pretty bad. For somebody that age, yeah, I can only imagine, because she saw us escape a hell of a lot of shit. And it looks like there's remnants of us going back to that time. I can certainly see her being really concerned.
And then when she sees or hears, I can let her listen to live sometimes where I used to. She like, I don't want to listen to them motherfuckers no. Well, she didn't use the MF word, but she don't want to listen to it no more. So yeah, so I mean, it's just not gonna improve. It's not gonna get better, and they have nowhere else to go. They're gonna unalive on this hill, no matter what happens. Now, I'm gonna say this about this.
But wait a minute. Maybe black MAGA, if they ride out the storm with Trump, they will be shown the promised land. You know, Trump often rewards those who ride with him.
Trump is not a. You could barely give a straight face when you said that shit too. That's why I started laughing.
Yeah, because I started thinking about when I said it, I started thinking about the Venezuelans and the LGBTQ. But he does sometimes reward those who ride with him.
And you know what he'll tell them? You know what? You guys did such a great job. I got these boats lined up, and I need y'all to do me a favor.
Oh shit, that ain't going good. Negroes on boats.
Yeah, we know that we don't need to be on no boat that a white man offers us for free. We already know how that shit gonna end up. But the funny thing is, I would listen to you talk about the election in Jack Smith. Did you watch his testimony?
I listened to some of it.
Man, listen, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you want somebody in charge of an investigation that's gonna be thorough, that's gonna call balls and strikes, that's going to be or appear to be very inflammable, that's the guy you want.
Yeah, and that's probably the what hurt him most is being too fucking thorough because it takes too long.
Yeah, but and again, I don't have a problem with him being thorough because it really wasn't him. It started with Merrick Garland, him taking too goddamn long to move it forward. But he is so. And again, Tim, if it takes that long to be thorough, and for some reason,
yeah, but if you feel confident, you got somebody dead to rights, but you want to be thorough and cross all your T's and dot all your I's, but you know that this person has refuge ahead. If they can just make it to the election and win, all of what you're doing is for naught. You're not going to be able to cross every T and dot every I. You need to get this moving. This dude, if he wins in November, all of this paperwork, all this shit you done, you can throw it in the garbage can.
Yeah, and again, you got to remember, Tim, he submitted the first indictment a long time ago. And then Trump got the qualified immunity, so he had to go back and remove people that were.
Yeah, it's hard to do much when the Supreme Court is running against you. So that was a killer.
But here's the thing. But what he did though, this is how thorough he was. He went back with the indictment. I don't know if you guys have read him. I've read him multiple times. He went back, took the indictment, extracted everyone that was in an active government role out of the second indictment, and still had enough evidence for the indictment. Because what he was talking about testifying was a second
appreciate
indictment.
that. Well, the problem is we're never going to see that. Thank you, whoever sent that with a period there. But we're never going to see any of that because obviously Trump is not going to pay any price, and probably by the time Trump leaves office, they're going to destroy a lot of shit. I don't believe the Epstein files are going to be left behind. I think a lot of the things they accuse Trump of doing, even with him likely pardoning himself, and I don't know if that is legal or not. That's never been done before. But if he don't pardon himself, they're going to come after him for shit. So he's probably going to try to pardon himself on the way out. But I don't believe they're going to leave a lot of that stuff behind so people can get access to it. Like with the Venezuelan drug boats, you probably are never going to find out what actually was on them, who got killed or any. They're going to probably get rid of all that shit.
So are you saying that this administration is going to continue to lie, steal, and cover up and be corrupt? Is that what you just said?
That lie, steal, and cover up is such a harsh word. How about it gets lost in a skiff?
Yeah, no. How about corrupt? Is that better? Is that softer?
Corrupt is a harsh word. We're protecting the organization.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you right now. These lying snake oil son of a bitches, they deserve everything that's him. Let me tell you this though, Tim. I'm gonna tell you this about that. Did you find Jack Smith to be credible?
I didn't see anything about him that would make me question his credibility. How about that?
Okay, perfect. And in his 30 years being over multiple administrations, Democrat and Republican.
Yeah.
Is there anything, I'm going to ask you again, in his history that you know that would deem him not to be credible?
Well, not for me personally, but the problem is once you go after Trump can take your credibility away no matter how much of a stellar record you have. I mean, everybody from General Milley on down. I mean, if Trump says you're not credible, for MAGA, that's the only mark that needs to be on you. That's a disqualifying mark. So there's a lot of folks on the right that think he's not credible.
And they have zero evidence to support any of it. Just Trump said he's not.
That's all you need.
This man's record is damn near impeccable. If you look at the cases he's tried, where he's been trying cases over his entire career, over all of these, a 30-year career.
Yeah, but
this man's
that
track record is impeccable.
but that is Trump. If Trump says you lack credibility, that's like being asleep and Jesus coming in a dream and saying, "Don't trust that motherfucker." It's that powerful. It is that powerful for those on the right.
I get it. They're crazy as fuck. They're batshit crazy. I get it. Nothing can happen that would surprise me. Nothing at this point. I haven't been surprised yet, actually. But I tell you what, I do get disheartened, like the little boy in that picture behind you.
5 years old. They allegedly used him for bait.
Now, yes, and people try to say it wasn't, but he was in their driveway in the car, right?
Wait, so, you talking about the kid was in the driveway?
The kid was in the car.
Yeah.
From what I read, the dad pulled into the driveway.
Yeah.
Went into the house, and the 5-year-old was still in the car.
By himself.
By himself.
I didn't read that. Okay, I didn't read that part, but keep going.
But he's on the property, right? Okay. He's on their property because they were at the man's house.
Yeah.
And the ICE agents got the boy out the car.
And then from what I hear, did they have him knock on the door to see if anybody else was in the house?
Yes.
That's the bait part. That's the bait part.
Yes. That's just crazy to me, man.
I want you to hear something. I want you to hear something because I played this earlier. You and many of you were not in here. This because you often hear about how Obama was doing this stuff too, and he didn't get the same chastising as Trump. Now, this person speaking, what is his name? This is the guy who was doing it under Obama, John Sandwick. Now, he was on News Nation last night, opposing the guy who did it under Trump's first term as well. His name is Chad Wolf. But I want you to hear something he says that I think is interesting.
Because it's a false narrative, this idea that you either stand for open borders or you stand for convicted, criminal aliens, or this chaos you see on the streets. The Obama administration, we were labeled a deporter-in-chief. We deported millions of undocumented immigrants, but did it, including millions of people with criminal convictions from the interior without these images, because this is not about criminals. This is about a mass deportation effort, and this is also about using ICE agents, putting them in a very difficult position that has increased the threats to them and increased the risks of assault to them. Same with Border Patrol agents by having to confront these protesters. But look, the image today, the guy with the 5-year-old kid, he had a court date, Chris. He already had a court date. He was in deportation proceedings waiting for his court date. Why would you arrest them unless you're trying to rack up some stats? But that's not a criminal alien. That's not someone with a final order of removal. And now we created this terrible dilemma where, admittedly, once you arrest them, you've got this horrible situation for the agents with the 5-year-old. But we created that. Why were we there in the first place? There are criminal aliens on the streets. There are gang members on the streets.
So what do you think about that? Now, he's saying that this guy was an asylum seeker. He was not illegally here or anything like that. It's just his asylum claim, Trump got rid of all the asylum claims, making him an illegal. But all you had to do was call this dude into court to tell him you wanted to discuss his case with him. And you could have picked him up there. Why are you at his crib?
Because they don't care, Tim. They don't care. The people that support them don't care. They're knocking on doors. And I'm going to tell you, before this is all said and done, before ICE agent's going to get hurt knocking on somebody's door.
You know something. I'm really certainly not that they can do it without a warrant and all this stuff. I think to me, this makes the perfect argument for folks on the left in regards to this whole notion that the Second Amendment prevents tyranny. These folks are doing whatever the hell they want and they're getting away with it. They're yanking people out of cars. They're requiring people to prove that they're citizens based on skin color, based on where they're standing, based on the language they're speaking, and they're not being stopped at all. And I'm sure there are plenty of firearms in Minnesota, Los Angeles, Chicago, Portland, and they're able to do this stuff. So to me, from now on, anytime I hear someone suggest that the Second Amendment prevents us, from dealing with a tyrannical leader, I'm going to bring up ICE.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they're putting U.S. citizens in a hard spot, right? If somebody banged on your door aggressive right now, your posture and your disposition going to your door or reacting to that is going to be different, right?
Yep.
these people aren't being nice. They're not ringing the fucking doorbell going, and they have no jurisdiction to do it without a warrant anyway. They have
Well,
no reason to come to your house. So if they're gonna bang on your door and talk shit to you, and they didn't give a fuck about that 5-year-old. If you watch the video, they didn't care about that 5-year-old.
well, no, because from what I hear, both of his parents, I'm not certain of this, but sounds like both of his parents have no legal right to stay here. So he's going to get deported.
But here's the thing. Here's what's so sad about it, Tim. If you're going through the asylum process, can you be detained by ICE while you're going through the process? Yes, you can. But there are particular reasons and circumstances. If you're a flight risk, if somehow
What if the president just simply denies your claim, which is what has happened in this case? Hasn't been done by a judge or anything. I mean, Trump just basically said, fuck the asylum seekers.
Right. That's not enough. The sad part is they're willing to break the law so bad they'll snatch you and move you and say we'll deal with the consequences later. That's how corrupt they are. And so once people understand that, by law, what's going on, and you have a right to defend yourself, you have a right to defend your constitutional rights. Now people say, yeah, but just comply. It's like, at what point is complying literally setting you up for whether it's being, wrongfully deported or wrongfully detained or wrongfully arrested?
Well, the judge,
it doesn't stop.
Yeah, but to me, the just comply is good advice, because even if the cops are violating your laws, and I'm saying just comply because the cops are just going to kill you. If a cop on the side of the road is telling you to do something, even if it violates your First Amendment, violates your Fifth Amendment, violates your Second or Fourth Amendment, you not doing it is only going to cause the cop to escalate. And we know when it comes to ICE, they escalate at an astronomically quick rate. They will escalate a lot quicker than your average beat cop. So not complying with them could have you end up like Nicole Good, whatever, Renee Nicole Good. You could end up like her. I mean, they don't take non-compliance.
Again, Tim, I don't disagree with you up to the compliance part, because if that could happen to Renee Good, no weapon, people are still trying to go back and forth about the vehicle. I don't think he was in danger at all, period. I don't. I think that the man was a firearms instructor. He could have prevented that.
You talking about the one that shot Renee?
Yeah.
I don't think that he shot her because it was between him or her. I don't think he was facing serious bodily injury, but I do believe it would be justified because the car was going his direction, and he can say, I fear for my life. And we give law enforcement wide latitude when they use that phrase.
Well, it's a practice by Border Patrol and ICE agents. I told you about the report. I told you that.
To get in front of the car, and shoot.
Yeah. So this is something that they've been practicing to justify doing that. And then now here's another thing. And Gen X just reminded me. I appreciate your racist reminder, Gen X. Boy, I can always count on you, boy. Because he said Renee Good and all of them, F them all, right? Now Gen X, and his affiliation and people that think like him, because you're not part of an organization that you don't think. I mean, it's an organization, right? I mean, you don't go to church if you're Catholic. You don't go to a Protestant church, right? So people that think like Gen X are in ICE.
You really believe? I'm going to say it. You really believe those boys who are proud? You believe they're serving as ICE?
Absolutely. And not only that, I'm gonna tell you what confirmed it for me. I'm gonna tell you what cemented it for me. Watching the ICE recruitment commercial, and it's playing that song, We'll Get Our Home Again.
Yeah, I saw it. Was that a recruitment commercial?
Yes.
Oh, I saw that.
Okay, so that video and that song is part of an ICE recruitment video. Tim, hold it. Now, it's a right-wing, white Christian nationalist song.
Yeah.
Gen X knows what I'm talking about. He can probably get up here, tap it, and sing it. He might need his oxygen to do it. But my point is,
oh my God,
that song is affiliated with ICE recruitment. Tim, what other evidence do you need?
Historically, here's my opinion, and this goes. I'm sure my MAGA audience is not gonna like when I'm gonna say this, but historically, I do believe what'll end up happening is there's going to be a lot of folks that support Trump and is saying he was a great leader, and just like the Confederate flag is all about pride and heritage, you're gonna have folks that are on that side of that issue, and then the other side is gonna be saying he was racist, just like the Confederate flag, pride and heritage versus racism. I think historically there's gonna always be claims of racism orbiting around President Trump because of stuff like this. I just really do. And there will always be a group of white America that are trying to defend him. And I guess Charlie Kirk taking him out of context or something.
Yeah, exactly, Tim. It's like you got the other. What's the guy that's walking around with the coat that looks just like right out of Smachi, Germany?
Oh my God! Yeah, the guy that's over ISO. Oh my Lord! That you look like he's straight out of the Third Reich, like an Eichmann or something. I should have got that clip. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I mean, that coat looked deliberate.
It's a side by. They got a side by side picture out there, right? And they're going, "Oh, it's just a fucking coincidence." Man, listen, Tim. I've been telling your ass this for 2 fucking years now. I've told you. These people are doing exactly what they said they were going to do, what they wrote down, what they were going to do. That's why people like Gen X support him. Gen X is about as racist as all the rest of them. He know he got some of his Proud Brothers in ICE. He ain't going to tell you that. He knows they're fucking in there. And he said he would sign up if he could. But Gen X, look. He said he's buying his coat this weekend. And I know he'd be laughing and joking, but Gen X is serious.
Oh my God. We're going to bring Gen up.
X is serious.
We'll bring him up eventually. I got to move it on, Mike. But yeah, I don't think he's joking 100%. I think he's serious on plenty of that because he's consistent.
Well, Tim, when people
Thank you, Monacola. Go ahead.
When people are trying to push back on the things that I'm saying, you just got to ask them these questions. You can't have all of these circumstantial evidence. You can't have all of these and just ignore them all.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Well, not only that, but I don't think MAGA would ignore so many circumstantial things. I don't think they would ignore it. So yeah, I agree that you can't expect people to do. And him in that coat, I was trying to bring it. Him in that coat looks wow. I gotta go. I agree with you. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
All right, bro. Have a good weekend.
You too. Tap the screen, by the way. This is MAGA-friendly programming, uncensored. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone, by the way. It doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. We don't talk down to guests. You know how we do it. Left of Bernie Sanders to having dinner with Q. I tried to bring his image. Apparently, it looks like Google don't even want me to bring that shit up. I'm sure many people have already seen it, though, but I don't know why I can't bring it up in detail on my device here. I was trying to save it and it's not letting me do it, but the code looks bad. I just want to say that it looks bad. It definitely looks deliberate. There we go. That's somewhat, and that's not a good image, but the guy in black and white is the guy that's currently leading ICE or leading part of it, rather. Bovino, that's his name. Yeah, Bovino. And the guy on the right is an actual Nazi. Jesus. Anyway, let me go back to the box. And by the way, tap the screen, get us on up to 80,000. Release them by, I'm way behind on this side over here. Tap the screen, get the likes up to 80,000. We'll take the next caller at that point. Left-leaning channel for sure. A lot of reporting, CAN and MSNBC around here. Speaking of that, and by the way, we take anyone from the right. There is no running or limitation because you have a right-wing opinion or a left. But speaking of MSNBC and fake news, here's another one of our topics we haven't covered quite yet today. You guys know that Don Lemon went into a church. And apparently the Trump administration wanted him arrested for trespassing, but they didn't get Don Lemon, but they did get a couple other people. This African-American woman who was on News Nation saying that she's a pastor herself, but she did go in there because one of the members of the church or the pastor was a leader of ICE. And, they're going in there like, how the hell could you be running a church and be in ICE leadership? But anyway, she went in there She's been arrested for trespassing or whatever. The problem is now the Trump administration put her arrest on the White House website. I suppose there's not a major issue with that. It's divisive as hell, but that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is the side-by-side image that's on the monitor behind me. Because President Trump or the Trump administration, it was on the White House website. So I don't know who did it. I don't care who did it. Trump runs the country, and whatever goes on the White House website, unless he gets out there and says something to correct it, he's going to be held accountable for it. They posted a picture of her arrest, but the photo was doctored. On the left is the real photo. On the right is the fake photo. The fake photo, they darkened her skin and showed her crying, when in reality, she came out looking stoic and quite confident. But they changed it to make it look like she was crying and upset. Now, I mentioned this earlier, President Trump, and to a lesser degree, former vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin were known for talking about fake news and fake news media and all that. This came from Trump, the guy who talks about fake news all the time. They deliberately altered an image, didn't say at all that this was fake, passed it off as a real image on the White House website. Does this challenge your credibility of President Trump at all? By doing this, you know he's willing to lie about something. There's no reason to do this. There's no reason to paste a phony picture of this woman. I'm also going to bring up the fact that if he'll do this to her, how do you know the Venezuelan boat photos were not doctored or altered? How do you know anything coming from the Trump administration? If you've actually caught him in a lie once, how do you know anything else being released is valid? So I want to ask that. I see in the comments, Chris says she will sue for millions. I don't know if this is worth millions, but it is. I do believe she would have a suit. I don't know how much it would equate to, but I do believe just doctoring her photo like this would probably end up being. JD, C. Osby, thank you for the support. Thank you guys for helping your boy out with the TikTok cap goal. People can, what is this? People can abort all they want to save their body and child's future. I don't know what that's about. Wake up and think for yourself. You really believe this? You a moron. I don't know what you're suggesting because this has been admitted to. The White House has confirmed that this happened. They've already copped to doing this. So your first thought is this can't be real because you're instantly going to automatically defend the Trump administration. But because you're not up on the news, you don't realize they've already admitted that this has been done. So it's not a matter of thinking if it's real or not. This actually happened. Looking at the comments, come on, Tim, what if the sky was going to fall? I don't know what that's got to do with this. I don't know what any of that's got to do with this. I'm just trying to figure out why they would doctor a photo. Let me go back to the box. It's crazy how folks automatically think when you show this that it can't be real without even checking into it. Just instant defense. Denkel, good evening. Welcome to the program. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, I seen that not too long before I tuned into the show. I think they were interviewing her about everything that she went through. Them surveilling her, them chasing her down, renting a hotel room across from hers and monitoring her. And they bum rushed her friend when her friend came out the hotel room because they thought it was her.
They did all this. They did all this for what amounts to a trespassing charge.
Exactly. Then when they took them downtown, they caught. The judge said to go ahead and release them. But then the attorney general stepped in and told them to hold her. For some pre-trial offense and all this stuff, man.
All this for her.
She got a good lawsuit coming up.
Yeah, I gotta say, I mean, first of all, if she's trespassing, that's a state charge. The fact that this went all the way up to presidential level because she walked into a church is fucking insane. I mean, so yeah, she has a lawsuit.
I mean, they put her picture on the official Twitter White House page. That picture up there.
Yeah.
And people talking about it's a lie. Like, there is no lie about this. They put a fake picture. Matter of fact, when the guy was filming her, she said, "Why are you filming me? I don't want MAGA to be using my picture, as."
And that's exactly what they did.
And he said, he told her, "Don't worry about it. This is not going on social media. I was instructed to do this."
Yeah.
Like, all this stuff is on camera.
And I will say in the comments, MAGA React says trespass, violating the freedom of religion, violating the Faith Act. She didn't do all of that. She walked into the church and simply asked, is this individual such and such? And when she was questioning whether the person in the church was leading ICE, and when she did that, the pastor started yelling shame. That's all this amounts to. Ain't nobody's religion. What the hell? What are you trying to? Go ahead.
Hey, they tried to use religion, and now a lot of people that looked up, in the Bible where it said that Jesus went into the temple and turned over the table and the money changers and all. It's like, no.
They trying to stretch this shit.
You should do it if somebody is doing something against the religion. So I don't know what. They trying
to
about damn religion.
They trying to stretch this shit like a poor mom trying to stretch a can of Spam. Like,
they didn't say shit when Trump went outside that damn church with an upside down Bible and shit. They didn't, after he gassed them people to get out of his way.
Wasn't it also a case of, I think it was an abortion doctor, something died and they were at his funeral or something like that, disturbing the funeral. I mean, this kind of stuff, I don't favor it, but it has happened before. And it's never reached all the way up to the presidential level. What she did, even if it is a crime, this doesn't warrant the whole weight of the U.S. justice system at the federal level. It's a state crime. The feds should not be involved in this. That is about as. Go ahead.
The feds are literally going in. The feds are literally going into churches, snatching up immigrants. So then don't tell me about going in a church and how this is so sanctified place and all that. They don't give a shit about church or none of that shit unless it benefits them.
Yeah, and I see in the comments someone said they interfered with that church's freedom of religion and freedom to worship and assemble peacefully. How? If you walk in and interrupt the church service, that's all she did was the amount of interrupting the church service. That ain't going nowhere.
Didn't touch nobody, didn't put hands on nobody. Just said the person in this church is literally a part of ICE snatching up people in our community. Is that him?
Yeah.
But these are the same people. These are the same people that said it's all right for people to go up into the people's house on January 6th. It's ours. We got a right to do that.
Yeah, I've seen videos of women confronting a pastor that cheated on them. And it's interfering with service. You don't get charged by the president. This is crazy. I mean, the idea that they interfere with people's ability to worship, talk about stretches and making some shit out of nothing. This is a trespassing charge at best. At best, that's all you get out of this.
They changed what should have been a quick booking, fingerprint, picture taking, release into like 3 days, in the jail.
Yeah, I don't know what people try to.
That's all they wanted to do. That's all they wanted to do.
Yeah, somebody in the comments saying it's against separation of church and state, unconstitutional act.
They have no idea what this is.
I mean, like I said, you realize how many church we didn't even charge Dylan Ruth, who went in the church and shot 15 people with that shit.
Exactly.
We didn't even charge him with none of that shit. He went in there and killed 15 people and they didn't charge him with this bullshit. He tried to make something out of nothing, boy. I
just wanted to say quickly, I just wanted to interject this real quick in the conversation. The gentleman you had on there, I don't know if you call him a gentleman. I just call him 180 because everything he said was backwards. The dude got up there and said that oh, black people used to love Trump. Remember all of the rappers were using his name respectfully. Have they forgot that rappers use names like Idi Amin, Daz Dillinger, Beanie Siegel, Machine Gun Kelly, Rick Ross,
Gotti,
Capone, Noriega, these rappers like strong men. They do. They like to imitate strong men. But a lot of these people were murderers, were killers, were gangsters. They like Trump because he stood toe-to-toe with a bunch of gangsters in New York City. They liked him because he put his name up in lights and he represented what we all envisioned was luxury. Yeah. Not because we liked him as a person, but we was like, damn, that motherfucker put his name up in lights like he the boss. We didn't like him. We knew he was a damn con artist. We knew he shitted people out of their fucking life savings and contractors. We knew all of that.
You know what's interesting is that many of the same folks that bring up that they put Trump name in rap songs and stuff like that. Many of them are the same people that criticize African Americans for idolizing gangbangers and shit in rap music. You guys idolize killers and murderers. All of a sudden, you idolize Trump, and they somehow figure out a way to separate it.
They literally idolize NASCAR. NASCAR was started from booze runners. That's how NASCAR started. Yeah. They was running illegal, drinks.
Yeah, the point is, it's exactly what you said. Rappers tend to idolize wealthy men and strong men and some pimps as well, but they don't idolize role models. So if you're being idolized by hip hop, it ain't because you're a fucking role model. It's probably because you're dominating people, you're mistreating people, you're getting paid. I mean,
right? So
it ain't no good qualities.
Stop using that as an excuse. Like black people used to like him because people said his name in a rap. That's not what that means. Yeah, and that guy must have not been a part of the culture because he obviously doesn't know shit. When he said he was black, he wasn't black.
Yeah.
When he said he wasn't MAGA, he was MAGA. That's why I call him 180 because everything he said was backwards. It was like he just spit around and said some opposite shit.
Well, he gives Trump a B, so he thinks Trump is doing a good job. In my comments, KO Surge says ICE is child kidnapping and trafficking Epstein 2.0. So he's saying what ICE is doing with this file. And by the way, this ain't the only kid, as you pointed out too. They're grabbing other kids, but he's saying that this is nothing more but a continuation of Epstein. Do you think ICE is possibly, taking the innocence of children at all?
I have no information about that, so I'm not going to make a comment. Yeah. Like, I don't know. That's, if they were doing it, I don't think they going to do it with this kid. It's too much publicity. We've seen his face. He's going to be like Ilion in a minute.
Yeah. And real quick in the comments, Stevie D says, so I shouldn't listen to rap. No, just know what the fuck you getting. Like what we're talking about. The people they're idolizing are not folks that have, what I want to say. These are not people that you would consider as idols. They're bad guys. Period. Right, yeah. They're bad guys. So that means Trump was a bad guy.
If you got to ask that question this deep into hip hop history, or rather, you should listen to it because of the names of the people. I mean, damn, Jay-Z, Rockefeller. What was his image? Didn't he die of AIDS or something? Like, he was not like a great dude. But people use their names as former gangsters and, like I said, rich men who did whatever they did, like that's not a like. Don't ask me about whether you should listen.
Yeah, even the rich men that hip hop idolizes are people that got their money through ill-gotten gains. You don't hear them rapping about Bezos. They're not rapping about they rapping about bad guys that got rich. So I mean, they putting Trump in that category.
Right, yeah.
Who raps? Well, I guess Nelly mentioned Bill Gates. Bill Gates' money is not ill-gotten, but most of the people they rap about that are wealthy got their money through, like you mentioned, Noriega and all of them folks. It's usually folks like that.
Yeah, Capone.
Yeah.
Like Freeway,
Right. John Gotti. I think Dre got a song with John Gotti in it and shit like that. It's bad people.
Yeah, Yo Gotti is a rapper. Like that's like
Right. So they know that. They just don't want to put Trump in that category. But you got to admit, there ain't no rap stars making hip hop artists about Ben Carson. I mean, it's all bad people. It's bad people. So.
Yeah, and also I wanted to remind them about this one particular. Like, I just wanted to take this off of they line that they keep talking about. They boarded up the windows. They boarded up the windows. Yes, the day after the election, when Trump started coming out talking about stop the count, stop these people, the people down in Wayne County in Michigan, that's where they boarded up the windows, because there were people banging on the fucking windows about to riot outside, telling them to stop the count. And the people on the inside were fucking terrified. And if anybody knows anything about counting of votes, you have to have a Republican and a Democrat representatives in the room. They all agreed they need to block these windows out because the people that were counting were fucking terrified.
Wow.
That's why they blocked the windows, not because they didn't want nobody to see, because there were cameras and there were monitors inside the room.
Look, Trump was going to say whatever he had to say to suggest that election was. I mean, Trump, I don't think, has Trump been in any election at all where he didn't suggest fraud was taking place, or even elections where he support people? He's been, ever since Trump became a politician, he's been yelling fraud. Even like when Dr. Oz was running against Fetterman, he was claiming that there was widespread election fraud in Pennsylvania. Dr. Oz came out and said, there's no fraud happening here. Like, he was making up stories then.
The man has told us from the very beginning. He said, if I win, it was good. If I lose, they cheated. He said it out loud. So I don't know why we have to go back and forth about who cheated. It doesn't matter. Everybody cheated when when he didn't get an Oscar, they cheated. When he didn't get the damn Nobel Peace Prize, they cheated. Anytime people have to vote on him in his achievements, if he doesn't come out number one, they all cheated.
Yeah, I see Debo in the comments said, I claimed fraud when I got caught with another woman. That is a very common thing to do. She lied about that
Trump
shit.
Didn't even do that because when Trump got caught, he got caught on TV with his new girlfriend, like right in front of his wife. Everybody saw when he started dating Marla Maples and was still married. Like, it was all on the tabloids. Like, I
can't hate on Trump, because despite what we're talking about, it's always worked for him. The guy has been able to do a lot without being held accountable. I mean, whether we're talking about not paying employees, bankruptcy, I mean, the guy's gotten away with a lot. So look, if it's working for you, more power to you. KO Surge says ICE got caught sexually assaulting women in Texas. When did that happen? Have you heard about that?
No, that's new to me.
I ain't heard about that.
That's definitely new to me.
I mean, the thing about it is you got people in their most vulnerable state, and they're in a country under an administration that don't give a damn about them. So I would say, if you are somebody who's been considering assaulting an immigrant, as bad as this sounds, you have never had a better chance to do it than now. The chances of you getting away with it now are greater than they have ever been, because our administration does not care about these people, and they're going to do everything they can tooth and nail to prevent an immigrant from getting a huge settlement from our government. I think right now is the best chance they've ever had to do that.
And they've gotten rid of all of these people, the inspector generals who would be the ones who would look at these cases. They got rid of, like, the Civil Rights Division in the federal government, like all of these things that would, they literally pulled all of those agents that were working on cases. Now they're the ones that's out here in the streets, grabbing people off the streets. So who's looking at catching the criminals?
Yeah, I think if some woman, or even a guy for that matter, was claiming that they were assaulted by an Asian or something like that while they were in a holding facility or something like that, first of all, the right wouldn't believe it, because the person would be denied, and then Trump would probably jump in and say, but I think also a lot of the folks who do not empathize with these people would say, you should have thought about that before you entered the country illegally. I mean, you wouldn't be getting it started if you had to stay at your ass home. I really think a lot of people would take that route for it.
Right. And there's just such this big inconsistency that it makes it so hard to like have a conversation with somebody. You know, I was having a conversation the other day with a MAGA guy. He denies he's MAGA, but he like defends everything Trump ever said and did. So he's MAGA. He just won't admit it. But he was saying that a popular right winger said that we should suspend the First Amendment on the internet for people posting fake left wing like propaganda. So they willing to go ahead and get rid of the. Remember when you did a while ago when you said the freedoms that would be taken away? You had the 5 freedoms.
I need to look. You know, that's interesting. You bring that up. I need to look that video up. It's been months ago. I need to see how. Because I don't forget which ones I said. I need to look that up. I meant to go find that. That's
you can check off a couple of more on that list. I'm telling you, because they literally doing what you said that would happen. They're taking it. They're walking around. They're telling these people, you got complete immunity from prosecution. Remember, we went back and forth with that. No, they're just talking about implied immunity and all of that shit. No, they are saying you cannot be prosecuted if you are doing what the president told you to do.
Yeah, that's one of the things I got hammered for MAGA because I was saying, look, I didn't think Trump's first term was that bad, but the minute he started talking about giving police immunity in liberal cities, that was enough for me to say, that was a deal breaker for me. And yeah, MAGA was constantly saying, no, he means qualified immunity. I'll tell you something, to this day, I have never heard the Trump administration use the word qualified. It's always been just immunity. They've never said that. That was something MAGA was trying to add in there to soften the blow.
And then they followed it up with Kristi Noem saying the same shit. Then they had Stephen Miller. Of course, he got up there and said, you have complete immunity to do whatever you need to do. I mean, that dude sounds just like Stalin or some shit.
Damn.
Back in the day, man.
Yeah, here's the video's time. When did I put this out? It's 4 months old. 5 rights America will lose under the Trump administration. I gotta listen to it because I know I gave 5. And I gave 2 honorable mentions, but I don't even remember what they were. I got to see how this video is aged.
I'm sure the Fourth Amendment should be checked off now, since they don't even have to have warrants.
Yeah.
You could just talk Hispanic. You could just have be speaking Spanish, and they got the right to go ahead and.
Yeah, and I know the Fourth. Yeah, I know the Fourth Amendment is one of those rights I said you may lose. So yeah, now I think MAGA pushes back on this because they disagree, and I understand why MAGA disagrees because they're seeing it from their own perspective. They're not losing those rights. They're not. It's not happening to them. It's happening to. Yeah, go ahead.
And that was the part I left out of the conversation, and I was telling the guy, I was like. Yeah, from a party that used to be strict constitutionalists, y'all actually call yourself conservative. Y'all want to conserve these things that the forefathers did for us and everything. But then as soon as y'all start hearing somebody say, let's break them, y'all say, we don't really need that one. We don't need that one either. Like Trump has got up there and told people, flat out, hey, we need to change the Constitution for this and that and everything. He's changed every single trade deal, any pact, anything we've ever created in this country.
He's a powerful man.
He changed it all. And they still talking about make America great again. Like America, they're changing the shit that they claim made us great.
He's a powerful man, didn't count. The belief is that the changes that Trump is making will make the country greater. I got to move it on, but not that I agree, but that is the belief. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, just
Oh, I didn't mean that. You paused. Sorry about that. Anyway, tap the screen. Get us on up to some lazy thumbs in here. Get us up over the 6-figure hump. Get us in the 105 range. We as America never been great. What do you mean by I don't quite get the wording of that. You need to get in more details about the story instead of just going on one side, but that's what a lot of people just do nowadays. So yeah, his dad needs to go with him as well as thank you and bye. We do got more on it. In fact, I played this earlier. I'll go ahead and give it another go round. This guy's name is John Senwick. He was in charge of ICE under President Obama. You often hear folks talking about how Obama did the same thing and why didn't he get chastised like President Trump does? Well, here is the guy who did the deportations under Obama, and you'll even hear him say we deported a lot of people. But I want you to hear what he says in regards to this case with the 5-year-old.
Because it's a false narrative, this idea that either stand for open borders or you stand for convicted, criminal aliens, or this chaos you see on the streets. The Obama administration, we were labeled a deporter-in-chief. We deported millions of undocumented immigrants, but did it, including millions of people with criminal convictions from the interior, without these images. Because this is not about criminals. This is about a mass deportation effort, and this is also about using ICE agents, putting them in a very difficult position that has increased the threats to them and increased the risks of assault to them. Same with Border Patrol agents by having to confront these protesters. But look, the image today, the guy with the 5-year-old kid, he had a court date, Chris. He already had a court date. He was in deportation proceedings waiting for his court date. Why would you arrest them unless you're trying to rack up some stats? But that's not a criminal alien. That's not someone with a final order of removal. And now we created this terrible dilemma where, admittedly, once you arrest them, you've got this horrible situation for the agents with the 5-year-old. But we created that. Why were we there in the first place? There are criminal aliens on the streets. There are gang members on the streets. Arresting them is hard. It's slow. Let's go back to the harder or slower work that has proven successful, that proved successful during Chad's time and my time.
Now, that's the guy who did it under Obama. And he makes a point like this. You had a way to arrest this guy that would not have looked this controversial. You chose to take the most controversial route to get this guy. He has a case. He's on the books. He has to come to court. He thinks he's going to get it. He thinks he has an asylum case that's going to be legitimized. Just send him a letter saying show up to court, and when he comes to court, arrest him. This didn't have to happen in such a dramatic fashion. So why would you choose this route? And I want to give you another clip real quick. I'm not going to claim that this is valid or invalid because it's coming from an immigration attorney, and I don't know if the guy is I'm not going to say the guy's valid, but I would question why he would just make this up. But this may explain why they're making arrests where they don't always necessarily have to.
We know why people are getting arrested at green card interviews, even if they're married to U.S. citizens. Even if they came here legally and just overstayed. The reason why they're getting detained is because ICE officers are actually getting rewarded for making these arrests, even if they know these people are going to be released a few days after. In San Diego, where I'm at, about a month ago, ICE agents stormed into green card interviews and started arresting applicants that had no criminal record, they just overstayed their visas, and they're married to U.S. citizens. Cases like this, a Navy wife detained at her green card interview, and then I had to go out and release her 3 days after her sitting in jail. Or other married couples detained for no reason just to be released. They have a quota, 3,000 people a day. Financial rewards for each head. That's why they're doing it, not to keep you safe. So next time you go to a green card interview, think about it. Do you have a green card interview coming up? Let me know. You finally know why.
So he is an immigration attorney, and he's saying that they're grabbing people like this because they're getting bonuses. Now, I heard this story released on another news outlet. I don't know if it's valid, so I'm not going to automatically bash ICE over the head with this. But what about you guys in the comments by way of yes or no? How many of you folks believe there may be validity to what this immigration attorney is saying, that they're receiving bonuses for their arrest, even if the arrest is not going to go anywhere. They're trying to get a certain number of arrests per day, so they're actually giving them bonus incentives to get it. How many of you folks believe that? Do I have to point to the elephant in the room, or rather the lack of the West Wing? I don't know what you mean by that. Folks are saying it's the Proud Boys. Wow. Trump is cutting costs in some places, but he's also spending a lot more money than he's saving, and most of it is on vanity projects. Well, to me, the weaponized Department of Justice shit he's doing is costing a fortune. The money spent chasing Kilmar Brego Garcia to the ends of earth and back. Well, we were just talking about this African-American woman that was merely trespassing, and they're trying to make a presidential case out of it. That stuff costs a lot of money. That stuff does cost a lot of money. Trying to go at the Comey and Letitia James in those cases, yeah, he is spending a lot of money on stuff that is what you refer to as a vanity project. It will look really good, vanity-wise, if I can lock up liberals that are fucking with me. So Don Lemon, for instance, trying to go at the Don Lemon like that. It's a vanity project. It's not gonna stick. It's not like Don Lemon is going to prison or he's gonna be ordered to pay thousands of dollars in fines. I mean, that shit is gonna be worthy of the value to it is essentially the same as you see here. A photo of Don Lemon in handcuffs, and the right gets to cheer on that he actually created a few liberal tears in Don Lemon. That's about it. And you're going to spend thousands in legal fees to get that. To get Don Lemon handcuffed, booked, processed. He might spend a few hours in jail, and that's it. Thousands in legal fees for that. Anyway, looking in the comments, just overstayed their visas. Why do you think there is a date for them to leave on them just to be ignored? Huh? And is actively rewriting history, says, wait. I think they see a benefit in that. The ballroom is better than the basketball court. I don't think it matters if you don't have access to it, no matter what they put there. Let me go back to the box. Look him up, babe. What are you talking about? Oxygen, while so many of mine went to defend your lazy MAGA moron asses. What? Every Democratic president lowers the deficit, gives us deflation, and makes the economy stronger, says a user. Going back to the box, tap the screen. We'll make it happen here. Don't know what I just hit there, but we'll go to Miss Mo Better. Miss Mo Better, you weren't here when Gangsta Grandma was around. Tell me you weren't here.
I was here.
Oh no. Blacks?
I heard.
Blacks?
I heard. I just came in when she was up or whatever.
Blacks?
It sounded like she was crying today.
Do you agree with that? Blacks is racist?
See, Tim, this is why I always speak about manner and intent. Because now we say blacks and whites all the time.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it depends on where it's coming from and why is it going that way.
Okay. That sounds a lot better. So in other words, the word in this
conversation, it means a lot when it's in a certain conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to consider the source when people are saying things like that. We say black people, black people. It sounds better when you say black people than those blacks.
Okay.
That's a difference.
Well, I think your statement, which is more of a contextual argument, sounds a lot better. Because to me, the word on its face is not racist. Now, if you want to add a bunch of negative connotations after it and then use it in conjunction with them, then yeah, I can see it. But I thought she was a bit crazy on that, in my opinion. But
well, you know how passionate Gangsta Grandma gets. That shouldn't be a surprise to you at this point.
Yeah,
that's your internet wife. So I don't know if you have a wife for real, but you better let her know that that's your internet wife.
Nobody wants to marry my old ass. So let me ask you: Are you aware of this whole photo session that's on the monitor behind me? Did you see this? Have you heard?
I I saw a little bit. I've been busy these last couple of days, but I did see a little bit. I didn't really read into the story, but I saw when they were arresting her. That part I did see, and she was so not crying. So, like you were saying earlier, or somebody was saying earlier, how can you trust this administration? You're talking about the highest position in the land, the highest court in the land, or not court, highest position in the land. The people are supposed to be ahead of us, and you're coming out with fake shit.
Why do you think he would do this?
Because that's how he is. He's a liar. He's a liar, and that's what keeps him running. If he got up there and really told the truth about himself, you know what? His supporters wouldn't believe him. They'd be like, "Oh, he's not feeling well. He's not feeling well. He's not talking correctly. Give him a day or two. He's gonna come back."
I don't know, but I gotta say, I want to come back as Trump, because to have that kind of power, to have people believe you no matter what, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Listen, I'm mad at him at this point.
No,
you got people that's willing to blow that orange dust and go ahead. Have them lick that orange dust off them old long ass balls.
I mean, oh my God! Like I'm watching Laura Ingraham on Fox yesterday after he had that summit where he was pretty much telling Canada, "We don't need you, you need us," and you telling Switzerland you would be speaking German if it wasn't for us in World War II. Oddly enough, that's their main language anyway, so I don't know what he's talking about. But I'm watching Laura Ingraham later on that night, and she's talking on Fox, and below her, the ticker talks about how Daddy showed them up. Like Fox News is calling him Daddy.
I'm telling you, he their pimp. He is their pimp, and he's Stephen Miller's numb bitch. So that when you talk about some trickle down stuff, he like the middleman. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
he got the little bitches on the street. He got to report back to them. You understand what I'm saying? So he's not really as powerful as people think he is. He's only the face. It's somebody else running this shit.
Well, yeah, but whoever you think is running it, Trump can get rid of them at any given time. I mean, if whoever that person is says something negative, if that person says something negative about Trump and Trump told MAGA something negative about that person is gone. Trump
see how that works.
Huh?
That happens with anything that comes out of his mouth. Anything that comes out of his mouth that's against him, he demonizes, number one. Now, number two, he'll fire them or get rid of them or call them names and different things like that. The proof is in all the videos.
But I'm curious, how do you get that power? Because I want to. There's a lot.
In the illusion of getting money. It's an illusion.
But Trump ain't got the hold on. Trump ain't got anywhere near the money of Elon Musk, and Trump was able to make Elon Musk disappear.
If you think Elon Musk has disappeared,
I think if it came down, hear me out. I think if it came down to who to follow, MAGA would follow Trump over Elon Musk.
Oh yeah, because Elon would take his money and whole ass. So you think Elon Musk? You know what Elon Musk is doing? As the biggest welfare recipient of this fucking country, of the world right now. How do you think he's constantly getting rich?
I don't know, but I want to know how Trump has that power because
he's making money off the American people.
Well,
but yet they big on immigrants being here. He's a fucking immigrant too. I don't care what kind of dual citizenship he has.
So what, Trump? Or you want Elon?
No.
Elon. Yeah, Elon is an immigrant. Gen X in the comments wanted me to let you know. He says, "Can I please make you a sandwich? Respect woman." He wants to make you a sandwich.
No, thank you.
You don't want a Gen X sandwich?
I'll eat. No, thank you.
Oh my God.
Hell no. He probably put some cyanide or some shit.
Damn.
No, thank you.
So what's up with them? So what's up with them using it? What's up with them allegedly using a 5-year-old as bait?
That it's disheartening. It's disgusting. So if you had this much power to do all kinds of stuff, why are you doing such degrading shit? Why are you going after the children? What happened to the criminals that you claim you were getting out of? Because that you think that little 5-year-old was a criminal? Was his father a criminal? Does his father have any records?
His father has no criminal history, but maybe this young kid was going to grow up to be a bank robber. I mean,
or he could pew up some schools or something, huh?
Yeah.
And churches, like a Dylan Roof. Was he an immigrant?
Who, the kid? The kid was born here.
I'm talking about Dylan Roof.
Oh, I don't know. I have no clue. That's interesting.
Yeah, no.
I don't think he was. I don't think he was.
No, he wasn't, and that's my point. That's why I said it works for Trump, because he demonizes everything that comes out of his mouth.
But can you blame him? Can you blame him though? Can you blame him? Demonization and division has been like currency to President Trump. I can't honestly say I wouldn't do it either if it was as valuable to me as it is to Trump. It ain't something I ever want to do. I don't want to deliberately divide people up I don't ever want to do that. But I am going to say for President Trump, it has literally been like currency. It works very well for him.
It's awful. You know why? Because he's even picking the pockets of his own supporters. That part they don't see. They think they're exempt because that we're in separate parties, or you're independent or whatever, that you're exempt from things that happen, like inflation and your healthcare insurance and premiums and stuff go up. You think you're exempt because you're voting for him. He has them believing that shit. Like I said, it's an illusion. He has them thinking that no, that's not going to happen to you. Oh, I'm just going to go after the liberal states because they're the sanctuary cities and all, and that we're the left, the radical left, they're going to suffer. They're going to pay. No, it's them red people that are going to suffer.
Well, right now, most of Trump supporters think he's doing a phenomenal job. I got folks that tell me every day he's doing, he's the best president that we've ever had. Straight Talk suggested his face be on every picture of Mount Rushmore. So what you saying that what he's doing is going to eventually hurt red states, they're not seeing that, Ms. Mobetta. They don't agree with you.
Of course they don't, because they're used to being poor. They're used to being they're complacent in their position. And that's why they don't like progression and stuff like that. Oh, we don't like change. What's wrong with the things the way they are? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like I keep telling you, you talk about his supporters. I keep telling you, when Satan left heaven, he took a third of the angels with him. How many people support Trump? A third of this country support him.
You're not comparing MAGA to Satan, are you?
Hellfire.
So what are you looking for in the next 3 years? And we got 3 more years of Trump. What do you think we're headed for, the way you making it sound?
Listen, and not to mention that we're still looking forward to a shutdown on the 30th also. See, he blows smoke up their ass and call people, we're the laughing stock of the world right now. People, they was eating his ass up on that.
I was told that because President Trump is in power, we are the hottest country on the planet, and everybody is respecting us now.
He said that shit.
He does.
He is the greatest in the world. Just ask him. But listen, we still got the shutdown and all of that stuff to look forward to. People, and like I said, he keep doing other shit, so we won't be asking questions about shit that's happening here. You got these world affairs going on. You over there causing trouble. You got NATO don't like your ass and all of that stuff. And the place that you're supposed to be running is going to shit right now.
But what about
Your body is only as good as your head, Tim. The head of this country is fucked up, and so is the body.
Your body is only as good as your head. You should tell my ex that. But anyway, he's only as good as your head, baby. Let me just say this though. With him on television recently showing photos of illegal immigrants that have been taken out of this country that had committed major felonies. What if it turns out that Trump did indeed get a lot of hardcore felons deported and get them out of this country? Would you give him credit then?
Of course you give him credit for that, but that's not what they're doing, and that's not what's happening. He's pardoning the criminals and the drug dealers and cartel. He's pardoning those people. So make it make sense to me when he talk about hardened criminals and all kind of shit. What the?
Well,
that makes sense to me.
He gave a press conference like earlier this week where he was holding up photos saying this person is a murderer, this person is a rapist. I mean, he showed. Now we couldn't see the photos really clearly, like the media couldn't see him clearly, but he did hold up about 10 to a dozen photos.
Listen, he held up a photo with MS-13 on somebody's knuckles that wasn't there either. They just put a video up on the White House of a lady crying that wasn't crying. How did that work out?
It's a good point.
And what's your name, Duke Vader? In the you don't need to know who I am, and stay in your lane. You, Gen X, whatever y'all do, whoever y'all claim to be, stay in your lane. Cause I'm not nice.
I'm gonna have to get some MAGA in here. I need some good old boys to follow you. I'm gonna have to get some MAGA.
You got the Boogaloo boys in your comments right there. That's why I would never eat a sandwich from them.
I don't know if I've ever had a Boogaloo boy on.
Yeah, you do.
I haven't had it. I think I had one guy that said he was an Oath Keeper. It's been months ago. I mean, obviously we got a Proud Boy. I would like to get a few of them on here.
They're one and the same, Tim. It's just we're in later years. So now they went from calling themselves one thing to calling themselves something else. And see, that'll take a history lesson, but don't be fooled by that bullshit.
I mean, it ain't a matter of being fooled by it. I want them to express their point. I want to hear their point of view.
I wouldn't mind that either. Like they'll stay in your comments popping shit. You know what I'm saying? Half of them probably not even tapping the screen, which all of y'all should be tapping the screen right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of lazy. Yeah, helping your boy out with the TikTok.
His live goal is reset, so we got to do all of that.
Yeah, I ain't getting any of that. My TikTok cap go, tap the screen. I ain't getting shit. You guys ain't showing no love. Real quick in the comments, one of my viewers said that he says, I am black. This is coming from Sam Getz. Said, I am black and I voted for Trump. We're not all the same. So Black MAGA is still very happy.
We know that first blagger you had on, Tim. I don't know who raised those things. And you ask them what. See, they going after the migrants, and I want to know what are the migrants doing that's harming them. That's what I think is.
I think it's more. This is Trump. I mean, I think it's more the perception. Trump has convinced a lot of America that the migrants are here, in Lincoln Rowland and everybody, raping and murdering people. They're taking jobs, taking black jobs. They're taking resources. Many of them are on welfare. They're taking our health care. This is what people don't want to happen, and they believe that the immigrants are taking all that shit.
No, and it's a lie, Tim. How are you going to these job sites getting them and all of that stuff, but yet they collecting welfare? That's not how that works. First of all, if you're here illegal, you have no no social security number or a number to where you can even get benefits. People don't. I took a Medicaid course, so they are lying when they say that shit. But again, they buy. That's what makes this cult-like behavior, because they buy into anything he says, even if it is a lie. Then they take it and run with it. But like I said, you keep saying it, but this is my story. I'm sticking to it. It's not going to end well for him.
What do you mean it's not going? He's gonna live to be an old man, incredibly wealthy. What do you mean?
You're just gonna have to sit and watch.
How do you think it's going to end?
I'm gonna keep that to myself.
I think that Trump is going to live to be an old man. I mean, he's already an old man.
Everything is 2 weeks with him. In 2 weeks, we're gonna have this. In 2 weeks, what's with this 2 week number? In 2 weeks, we're supposed to have some kind of health insurance. Like, again, come up with something like that. Come up with a plan like that, and then maybe I can give you a little credit.
Well, Duke Vader,
he's not giving me anything to give him credit on. You don't want to help people with student loans. And see, this is what the fake patriots keep hollering about. Oh, America first. We got to take care of home first. But that's
Blue One, baby. Appreciate that. Wow. Shit.
Thank you. But you talk about America first, but when it comes to student loan, why I had to pay, why you can't pay, but I thought it was America first. You understand what I'm saying? Like, come on. That's what Biden was doing. Biden was helping the Americans with stuff like that. And I know they don't want to hear it, but it's true.
Yeah, but MAGA ran on it. They didn't believe in, even Tim Scott was saying, if you took out a loan, you got to pay it back. They never ran on, in fact, MAGA is against most social programs. So it ain't like Trump, surprised anybody. Blue One, shout out to you for the galaxy. Thank you. I mean, yes. Trump ran on that.
But again, so they need to stop hollering about America first. Then stop hollering, and not only that, you put that money into people having to pay student loans and all that stuff. You're gonna get that money back. That money that dumped into our economy and stuff like that, and then things would go up without having to deal with.
But the argument is, if you're going to pay people student loans off, what about the person who went to school, graduated, and found a way to pay all of their money back? Do they get a check? Why are they not getting?
Everybody's afforded the same opportunities, Tim. They have to look at stuff like not everybody, even people that have graduated college. You have some people with college degrees that are tending bar because now jobs and stuff has been cut. Now you're no longer a professional. Why are you taking away professional titles and shit like that when people have worked hard for that as well?
Well, I'm just saying. Well, he thinks some of that stuff is waste. Now he says he's
a waste.
One of my viewers, Mike,
as a degree that he got.
Well, he got it from the Wharton School of Finance. Mike says, I need a new truck, but I can't afford it. Maybe the caller will buy one for me. And one of my other viewers, Motion says, caller has no clue. I've got two with fake IDs and social security numbers. So they not on it.
Listen, ask him, is he bragging or complaining? What do you want, a medal or a chest to fucking pin it on? Like, get the fuck out of here with any of that. You clueless. How about that?
I don't have an answer. I can't answer that part of it. This is a perfect example.
And I don't have, and Duke Vader, shut the fuck up. You go somewhere, scratch and sniff.
Yeah, Duke Vader.
How about you go scratch Gen X's ass and sniff it?
Duke Vader is claiming your education amounts to a Medicare course. He says in the comments, though, maybe Trump will buy you one. She is a learning center girl, a pay-for-play. Trump gave HBCUs everything. It's Trump's fault.
Oh, come on. We're not going there with that either. Tell them to find something else. Trump didn't even want to give no money. It had to be somebody else to come in there and give that money. Trump didn't want to give them shit. What he wanted to do was take the money and give it to universities that had some African Americans enrolled. It wasn't for the HBCUs. Y'all go learn something. Go read something. Look up the right shit. Y'all looking up the wrong shit. Now,
I would also
my straw man book.
I would also add, like for instance, I got 3 college degrees, and I know plenty of African Americans with an advanced education. And I would add that bragging that he gave money to HBCUs, the overwhelming majority of African Americans, blacks, as Gangsta Grandma don't like, the overwhelming majority of black people have never been to an HBCU. So doing something for HBCUs doesn't represent black people. But I doubt it. Probably.
And Tim, not only that, if they go look at some of these HBCUs, like down in Virginia and stuff, they got more white people enrolled in them than African Americans.
I didn't know
that.
So
they need to go again. Start doing research before y'all let this stuff fall out your mouth. Because once it comes out, you can't take it back.
I'll leave it at that, Miss Mobetta. I got to move it on. But yeah, I don't know anybody that's ever been to an HBCU. So bringing that up for black people.
All right, one more thing before I go. Duke Vader calling me Jasmine Crockett is not a flex. I'll take that any day. Any day. She's educated, she's smart, and she's strong. Y'all threatened by her, not me.
You're a vocal black woman. You're a vocal black woman. You're gonna bring you're a vocal black woman. You're gonna bring that out. That's gonna happen.
That's right. And she's courageous. I'd rather be called her than Marjorie Taylor Greene, Alice the Goon. The fuck.
All right, Miss Mobetta. Appreciate it. By the way, folks. Oh shit! You can pause. Tap the screen. Get the likes on up to 135. 30 THURDY. And the professor from there said Trump was the stupidest person he ever met. Who said that, Erica? Vote Crockett for Texas Senate. You think you got a chance down there in the Lone Star State for Senate? Real quick in the comments, want to make sure I didn't miss any super chat says. I guess that says MK Ultra Instinct. Tell the caller I can hear the EBT in her voice. Miss Mobetta, damn. How can you hear the EBT in her voice? Oh, Lord. Let me go back to the box. We need Thug Grandma back. Trump stupid. He's doing better than smart, says Erica. Well, look, you can be rich and still be a bad person. So I'll leave it. I don't think Trump is stupid though. I think Trump is very smart. You don't get to where Trump has gotten in life by being stupid. I think he's been, first of all, he was born on the finish line anyway. Let's be clear. It ain't exactly like Trump started out as a dirt farmer and somehow became a gazillionaire. He was born on the finish line. So he didn't have to work very hard to be rich. He often brags that I did all this with $1 million loan from my dad. How many of us can request dad to give us $1 million while we're in our 20s? I'd submit to you, if you could get $1 million loan at an early age, the chances of you becoming wealthy for the rest of your life are great. Trump got $1 million loan from his dad. We're talking probably in the 70s. So think about how much $1 million was worth back then. It ain't like it ain't like becoming rich, starting out with something like, his dad ain't charging him the typical bank interest and all of that shit. So he was born on the finish line. I'm not saying he hasn't accomplished business and corporate feats in his own right, but he was born on the finish line. He didn't make all of this shit on his own. He was given a lot of advantages. Trump is definitely stupid. You can get to where he's at with a silver spoon. Not the president. Not the president. Bloomberg, Romney. There's a lot of wealthy people that have ran for president and didn't succeed. So even though he was born on the finish line, I don't consider Trump stupid because I think he has a significant gift of gab. He knows how to talk to people and make them feel like few others can. What he does at his rallies is amazing. And you're talking to somebody that went to a couple of them. What he does at his rallies is amazing. You walk out of his rallies feeling energized. So I don't think Romney could do that. I don't even think Bush could do that. I don't think Biden ever did that. I don't think Kamala Harris could do it. I do think Obama could do it. But that's between them two. I think they both got the gift of gab. Big dog, appreciate that. Thank you. That astronaut looking good. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Thanks for the support. Duke Vader. No, Duke Vader, I did not vote for Trump. I did not vote for Trump. There's a few, like I said, when Trump started talking about, whoa, did you change my boy's face? He gave me a gift and they put it right on top of this little 5-year-old. Oh my Lord, that was funny. No, I stated when Trump talked about giving, and I don't think Trump did that bad in his first term. I don't think he did that bad in his first term, but I did vote for Hillary Clinton to follow up Obama. But after his first term, I'm like, it wasn't that bad. But when he started talking about giving police immunity from prosecution on his second term, that was a deal breaker. To me, giving police immunity from prosecution, for folks on the right, so that you understand where I'm coming from, it's like talking about taking away your gun rights. Once a politician starts talking about taking away your Second Amendment rights, Hendon, appreciate the hat mustache. Thank you, Hendon one. When someone starts talking about taking away your Second Amendment rights, you don't give a shit about what they're going to do for the economy or world international affairs. Talking about taking away your Second Amendment rights for people on the right, it's a deal breaker. I don't need to know the rest. For me, talking about giving law enforcement immunity in liberal cities where I live, it's a deal breaker. I don't need to know what else you got planned. That alone disqualifies me from voting for you. So when the Trump administration started talking about that, that was enough. That was enough. looking in the comments, and like I said, I don't think he was bad at Trump 1.0, with the exception of his handling of COVID. I don't think he did a bad job. In fact, I think that if it wasn't for the pandemic, Trump would have easily gotten reelected. His handling of the pandemic was horrible, in my opinion, horrible, because he was running for reelection. He had a strong economy to run on. The pandemic breaks out. The medical community is saying that you need to shut stuff down and social distance. That's going to ruin the economy. So Trump was faced with, how do I keep the economy strong so that we can run again for a successful election? And how do we protect folks that are dying of COVID? And what he tried to do was a hybrid. If you want to stay open, you can. You don't have to shut down. It became a hodgepodge. It became a mess. So, and then of course, him appearing on TV with Dr. Fauci, standing in unison with Dr. Fauci, letting Fauci tell people what to do, and then holding rallies at night where his supporters were yelling, "Fire Dr. Fauci," and they're walking out of the rallies thinking Trump is going to do something about this corrupt doctor. Next day, Trump is back on TV with Fauci, letting Fauci instruct America on what to do. Next night, Trump is at a different city holding a rally, and the process kept repeating all over again. That's horrible mixed messaging. Trump could have got rid of Fauci. He didn't have to let Fauci keep advising the public. He could have put Fauci on the HIV task force or something else. Took him off for the pandemic. So, yeah, Trump's messaging on the pandemic was terrible. Anyway, looking in the comments, I think Trump is a Russian plant, says Money. Really? I think that Trump has favorable ties, opinions of Putin, but I don't know about a Russian plant. That's pretty strong. He pardoned all of January 6th knowing he would get his own private army because they all joined ICE afterwards. Yikes. This lady hits all the Democrat talking points right on the mark. She follows a party and votes for a party that is only interested in her every 2 and 4 years for her to vote and still stays loyal. Well, let me ask you that. If you think my last call, and I'll go back to the box after this, tap the screen, get us on up to 135. If you think that the Democrat Party only cares about my last caller between every 2 to 4 years, do you think the Republican Party cares about her right now? Really, you say the Democrat Party only cares about her at election time. Show me what the Republican Party has done to suggest they care about her right now. I'd be curious to know. Let me go back in the box and continue on with the show. We'll go to Tamar. Good evening, Tamar. Welcome to the program. Is that Duke? Yes, show us what the Republican Party has done for us. Yeah, that's the point. Tamar, good evening.
What's up, man? What's up, Tim?
Not much at all. How do you feel? Do you think the Democrat Party cares about you?
Do I think the Democrat Party cares?
Yeah.
I would say yeah, for the most part. I mean, it's all about getting votes at the end of the day.
What about the Republican Party?
You know what I mean? do I think they care about black people or just me?
Let's go with black people, then we'll wind down to you. Start off with black people.
No.
What makes you suggest the Republican Party does not care about black people?
Well, I'm not going to say the whole Republican Party because I don't.
Okay, what about the leader?
No.
Why not?
Definitely not the leader.
Why not?
I mean, look what he's doing.
Example.
He's basically making mayhem for people of color, of all races.
How is President Trump? How is President Trump making mayhem for people of color?
Look what he's doing in Minnesota. Did you not hear about the lady? She was like 23. I think she was walking into a building, and then she was Muslim. She had like the hijab on, and they grabbed. I guess she asked somebody to hold the door, and it ended up being ICE people. They grabbed her up, arrested her for 2 days, roughed her up a little. I think she had a concussion, and then they set her free.
You know something first thing I think of is if that happened in my city, can the people leave? Like, I would rather go to another city and live in my car until that shit is over with. Like, I would not want to be in that town with that many of them there.
Yeah, me either. I mean, they sent 3,000 ICE agents to Minnesota.
Yeah,
We talked about this.
yeah. I don't see why some of them folks. Now I don't know. Maybe they got the highway blocked off for all we know. But I would not. I would find a way to leave that town. Like while they're here, making life miserable for people of color, I would rather just live in my car in some neighboring state. I would leave.
Yeah, I mean, but some people don't have the option to do that. You know, they may not have the funds or the capability to actually leave and do that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, well, Arsha says not everybody has that luxury. Well, first of all, make it clear. Wait a minute. Let's make it clear. I said live in my car. That's not a luxury.
They run down on you in your car. You see what happened? You played the thing what happened with the Uber driver.
No, I'm saying I would go to a town where it's not flooded with agents, where they're not gonna run on me in my car.
But that's the thing. They're gonna go state to state. And Democrats state to state. They're Republican state. They're gonna go to a city like.
I can't hear you. I can't. You got all kinds of background noise.
Yeah, no, I was moving. I was getting back to that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Like a state, like a city like Houston, they're gonna go to. That's it.
Yeah. You sound like you're a million miles away. I cannot hear you at all. I don't know. I got to move it on. I couldn't hear him though. Is this guy moving or what? It sounds like he's. Yeah, I couldn't hear him. It sounded like he was disappearing. Let me go back to the box. Duke Vader. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Yeah, tomorrow. I don't know if you still listen, but tomorrow I couldn't hear you. You were disappearing. What does that say? I don't know what that's. Shit. What happened? Now it didn't bring up Duke. Okay, we'll move it on. Gen X. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Gen X. Good evening.
What's up, brother?
Shit.
Man, why you treat Duke like that?
Treat him like what?
Man, you ignore that man. You ignore that man for almost 40 minutes.
That's two callers. That's like 2 or 3 fucking callers.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, there are people that have been waiting before him. I actually tried to bring him up though.
No, fair enough, Tim. Fair enough.
Okay, so I enjoyed talking to Duke. He dropped out. I can't. What can I say? Anyway, using the 5-year-old.
Ask me, what are you getting wrong?
Yeah, let's go with that. What the fuck am I getting wrong?
Motherfucker, what the hell you got that little child in the background for? And you know damn well that I'm gonna turn into gangster grandma. How the hell you gonna take that little child in the background and the mama wouldn't even take him? What, they supposed to leave the child in the cold?
Well, my point is this. Why did they have to do this at the man's crib? Why did they have to arrest him at his house?
They got to arrest him wherever they can find him.
He wasn't running. That's why you got him at home. It ain't like you've been looking all over town for this dude.
Hold on. Now you're giving false information. He did run. He got out of his car and took off.
That ain't what I'm saying. He took off running when they came to his house to arrest him. But what I'm saying is he has an asylum case. He has not committed any crimes in America whatsoever. They could have called this dude into court. Huh?
Trump got rid of the asylum cases. There are none.
Right. So you could have got this guy to come down to court, and when he showed up at court, grabbed him.
You know what's funny is Debo spells ignorant the way I do. IGNANT. You fucking ignorant motherfucker.
Well, he's saying that you're ignorant as fuck. That's what he's trying to say. Do you favor this? What happened to bad hombres, Gen X, though, for real? Rapists and murderers. His dad is none of that shit.
Do you know his dad?
I know they made it clear his dad has no criminal history. None.
But his dad's a criminal. He's a fucking asylum splitter.
If I come to America seeking asylum and they decide to cancel asylum, that don't make me a criminal. That means you changed the law from up under me.
Then why run?
I need to know what he was seeking asylum from. If I know the cartel.
If I do something wrong, let me give you an example. If I do something wrong that was right at the time when I did it, and the cops pull up to charge me with it, I'm going to put my hands out and say, all right, let's go fight this in court, dude. When I did it, it wasn't illegal.
Okay.
But now you're telling me it's illegal?
So then I'm asking, so if you really came to America, let's say you came to escape the Taliban, or you came to escape the cartel or whatever, you put in an asylum case in America. Now, Trump has just got rid of all asylum claims, which means if he catches you, you're going back to the Taliban or you're going back to the cartel. You would just stand there and peacefully let them detain you?
Yeah, I'd fight it. Yeah, absolutely.
Fight it where?
In court.
With no money.
It doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter. You can fight that in court. A lot of your federal judges are liberals anyway, and you're going to win.
No. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to trust that. You listen, if you try to run and they catch you, you still can fight it. I mean, fuck it. Catch me if you can, as Leonardo D said. I mean, I'm going to run first. And then if you catch me, we can get to the fighting shit. But fact is, you see what Trump is doing to immigrants. So you're going to be fighting against the president of the United States, hoping you get lucky?
What else are you going to do, Tim?
Run is what I'm going to do. Exactly what he did.
How far do you really think you can run?
I don't
really think you can run?
Listen, I don't expect to get away. But what I'm saying is...
Let me ask you this. Hold on. Let me ask you this. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Let me ask you this. What looks better in court? When you go in front of the judge and they say he hopped out the car and bailed on his kid and left his kid in the car in sub-zero temperature, or he hopped out of the car, put his hands up, surrendered himself, and said, okay, let's go to court and fight this. What do you think will be more favorable in court?
I gotta agree with James Harper in the comments. I don't think it's ever going to go to court. Remember, we don't want to give immigrants due process.
That's not the question I asked you.
I mean, I suppose it would look. I suppose it would look better to say he just peacefully surrendered, but I think that's so minuscule at that point. I mean, it's like you go to jail for bank robbery and they say, well, what looks better? You tried to run when they caught up with you, or you peacefully surrendered? The bank robbery is what's going to take precedent. Nobody cares how you surrendered. That's meaningless.
You're completely conflating two different things. This isn't a bank robbery. This is an immigration status.
But this
is someone that was already in the system on asylum shit. If he would have simply thrown his hands up and said, okay, I've already been here for the asylum stuff. I've got a court date, or I had a court date. Let's go and do that.
Why don't they know that already?
It's a lot better, bro.
Why would you tell them you got a court? They already know all of that.
Exactly. My point. You made my point for me. Thank you.
Well, the point I'm making, that I'm trying to make with you, is this whole notion that you should just peacefully surrender and fight in court and you got a fighting chance. You and I are on the wrong. You and I are on the opposing side of that. I don't think I think, because you said he's not a bank robber. True. But he's in a country that is currently treating undocumented immigrants like bank robbers. Because Trump has stated they're all here to rape and murder everybody. They're coming out of asylums and prisons. He might as well be a bank robber for that matter. So the idea that he's going to go to court and somehow fight and win, you can miss me with that. I don't think there's any hope for this guy. They were willing to put Kilmar Obrego Garcia in Africa. I'm running. I am running. I'm not going to sit there and hope for the best like that.
Should have been sent to Zimbabwe. Fuck him.
And that's what they're going to say about this group. That's what they go.
That motherfucker could have been in Zimbabwe riding a goddamn zebra with a fucking plate in his lip. Fuck him.
My God. Why do you get such a hatred toward Kilmar?
Because he's an illegal fucking gangster. He's MS-13. It was on his hands. He's a criminal.
You're going to tell me that there are not people in this country, patriotic, tax-paying Americans, God-fearing Americans, that don't have tattoos on their body from when they used to live a rough life? You're going to hold somebody accountable for a fucking tattoo, Gen X, as if they can't change their life. You go to any rehab. People who are trying to get their lives together got tattoos on them.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I have a lot of tattoos, and guess what? Not one of them says MS-13.
That ain't got nothing to do with what I just said.
Hold on. I'm going to show you one of my tattoos. I'm going to show you one.
All right, what do you got? I don't see shit.
Can you see me?
I don't see you, no.
Oh, I got to see it.
Now I see you.
Now can you see me?
I can see you perfectly.
Hey, look, I got a fresh Nazi cut. I got my Trump shirt, Nacho Gulf.
You actually are wearing a Trump shirt. What is this? You coordinating? Proud Boy on the, you got, okay, your wrist says, what does that say? Proud Boy on your forearm. Okay, Proud Boy, I see that.
Proud Boy, baby.
So in other words, you should be deemed as a Proud Boy for the rest of your life because of that tattoo, right?
I'll be a Proud Boy for the rest of my life.
Okay. What is up with your, now, I'm hearing that a lot of you guys are ICE.
Oh, yeah, dude, I can't be ICE. You know why? Because I've got this oxygen on my nose, Michael. Dude, Mike is such a fucking retard. That dude has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. I'm going to share something with you, Tim, that I haven't shared with anyone online. I was in real bad shape medically a year ago. I was on oxygen. I was 430 pounds. I paid for a kidney transplant. My creatinine went down to 0.09. My kidneys function regularly again. I'm doing magnificent. I don't need oxygen anymore. God bless. And I will guarantee you that somebody in your fucking live, in your stream, will make fun of a kidney transplant person. I'll guarantee it, because they fucking hate me. That shows the hatred of the left. It shows their fucking hatred.
You don't think people on the right are doing the same shit?
I never said that.
Oh,
I never said
so
that.
hatred is coming from, so it's coming from Americans, not just the right. It's coming from Americans, not just the right. I mean, the left rather. It's coming from both sides.
I agree with you. It's coming.
I mean,
from both
you
sides.
did see what Trump said about Rob Rayner or whatever his name is after the guy got murdered, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
was
so
disgusting. That was.
yeah. So
I didn't dig that. I didn't dig that at all.
Yeah. Right.
Tim, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm not only going to bring a black MAGA in here. I'm going to bring a black Proud Boy to talk to you. His name is Cheeto. He's from New York, and he is a fucking man. This motherfucking ninja is, dude, he's a fucking, he is a beautiful specimen of a human being. I love Cheeto. And he's black, and they call him Cheeto.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Well, you know what he sounds to me like? I wish. Here you go. I'll just drop it on the. I'll drop it on the floor. You hear this? He sounds like a token. That's what he sounds like. A fucking token. Sounds like you guys got a token hanging around.
Tim, you are a token Negro.
Really?
Cheeto is not.
Okay, I don't know. He's hanging around with you using all of that type of terminology and shit like that. Dude might as well have a leash around his neck.
I gave you a shout out. If you check my channel, I did a shout out of you today because what I clarified you as is somebody that I don't agree with, somebody that I vehemently disagree with, a liberal idiot, but somebody that sits on the same side of free speech as I do.
And I respect that about you.
Okay, I'll take that backwards fucking compliment. I'll ride with that. I'll ride with that. We are about free speech here, but your boy is a straight token. I would like to talk to him though. Black MAGA, Black Proud Boy. Absolutely bring him on.
Proud Boy, I'll bring him on here soon because I would love for you to talk to Cheeto. He's a good dude, man.
I gotta ask you a question though, because you've slipped a bunch. How often do you guys roam around using the N-word? It's pretty obvious you use it regularly.
Dude, I call my mom Ninja, but the other word.
I know it's the other word.
Like it, and she tries to smack the smile off my face, but that's just a word. It's a fucking word. Who cares? I don't care if you're black. I don't care if you're white. I don't care if you're green. I don't care if you're red.
Would you now? You just paid for a kidney trip. Would you have said that to the doctor if the doctor doing your surgery was a black person? It's just a word.
I did say it to him. I did say it. The guy that did my fucking kidney transplant was an Indian, and I was like, "Don't steal my good kidney." He laughed. He thought it was hilarious.
Oh my Lord. Well, you are safely tucked away in the rural Montana somewhere, right?
Dude, I am a real Archie Bunker of Montana.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
I actually believe that. I think that's something you and I can agree on. But
now, let me give a shout out to somebody else. And Miss Mobetta and me don't agree with shit. In fact, I think she's a fucking lunatic. But I will say this. I will say this. A year ago, and I know you remember this, I insulted her, and I didn't mean to. It was just something I said that insulted her, and it really insulted her. And I apologize for that, and I meant it. When I went on her live, this woman was nothing less than cordial, professional, nice, and I couldn't expect to be treated nicer from a MAGA host. She was now King Finn and Mike. I didn't race it, yeah. And she's no.
Wait a minute. You're bringing up King Finn and you say Mike. Let me ask you this: do you feel that you are racist in any way, shape, or form?
Me?
Yes, you.
Oh fuck yeah, I'm racist.
Okay,
fucking
right.
A, man.
All right, at least I'll give you credit for at least coming out and admitting it, because most folks in your position don't want to necessarily be candid like that. You did admit it, so
why would I lie about that? But then now let me put some disclaimers on that. I am racist against ghetto blacks, normal blacks, the blacks that they call Nazis.
Wait, the blacks that they? How can a black person be a Nazi?
Dude, they call black MAGA Nazis, black Nazis.
To me, a black MAGA would a black Nazi rather would be like the Jewish folks that were kept alive to bury the dead. I mean, you're just working for the enemy at that point. I don't get. I mean, I can't imagine why anybody black would affiliate with the Nazis. They obviously don't believe you're even equal.
They call black Nazis niggler. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
You were in some really deep racial circles, man. You really hanging out with the real deal.
That's what I hear, and I don't agree with it. I'm like, why would you even say that? That's a horrible thing to say. But I understand the rationale behind it.
Well,
that's what they believe. So just because I don't like speech, just because I disagree with speech, doesn't mean that the speech I'm hearing, the people that are presenting it, don't have the right to say it.
Well,
That's what free speech is about.
Perkles in the comments said, I still want to know what is a normal black.
A normal black?
You said you don't like the ghetto blacks. You're not a fan of the ghetto blacks. The normal ones are okay.
What's a normal black?
You said you don't like the ghetto ones, but the normal ones are okay.
Yeah, a normal American, a black American, is somebody that's assimilated to American culture.
You mean like Jasmine Crockett?
No, like you.
What's wrong with Jasmine Crockett? She's above.
Crockett's fucking ghetto. She go to a fucking cookout and brings barbecue chicken that she bought from Albertsons. She's not a fucking normal black.
Jasmine Crockett
Cooks his own shit and brings the shit and says, "Yeah, this is what I got." I'm down with that. Fuck yeah, rock and roll, baby.
Jasmine Crockett is more educated than I am. She's wealthier than I am. She got a resume that would run. I mean, how is she not normal?
Dude, there's nothing normal about Jasmine fucking crotch rot.
Other than her talking shit to MAGA, everything else about her is stellar. I don't get it. You'd have to let me know, because I mean, she was, well established.
I'll give Miss Mo better this. She is cute. And if I was at a bar and she was like, "Hey, baby boy, you want to go home and fucking rock and roll?" Then hell yeah, I'll take my first one under the fucking collar. Let's go.
Oh my God! You would have you ever dated a woman of color?
Yes, actually, yes, I have. And it was the worst relationship I ever had, because black women and Italian men don't get along great, because the word bitch doesn't sit well with black women.
Oh, so they
don't like that.
So it's quite common for you to refer to your woman as a bitch.
No, when I'm angry, yes. When I'm angry, yes. Yeah. I don't refer to my woman when I'm not angry as bitch, because that's just disrespectful. But if you piss me off, I'm not going to candy coat shit.
Now, you and I talked last, and you already admitted you don't think women should vote. There's a host of professions should be off limits to women. You believe that there's a hierarchy and men are above women. How do you feel if somebody referred to you as a womanizer or a chauvinist?
I'm a Western chauvinist, absolutely.
Do the women that you affiliate do the women that you're affiliating with know that you feel like you're above them?
100%. Or I don't affiliate with them. I put that on the table the first time we go out and sit down and have a drink. I put that on the table, or that's what I did put on the table. I've been married for 17 years, so. But before that, yes, I absolutely did. 100%.
Wow. All right. That's different. I got to move on. Gen X, our conversations are always the most interesting. You drive my audience crazy, but it is what it is. Appreciate you coming in.
You are the booger with the sugar. Go check out the post I put up about you. I much respect, man. Your stance on freedom of speech is spot on. Proud Boys USA. ProudBoysUSA.com. Go sign up. Join your local Proud Boys. Support us. Support yourself. Be a Western chauvinist. Love America.
Oh my
Peace, brother.
Gen X, thank you for coming through. You're trying to get me killed. I got to move it on. Looking in the comments, though, 430 pounds, bro shouldn't be allowed to eat until he's 200 or less. Damn. I'm nowhere near 200, goddammit. I'm 6'3", trying to get down under the twos of myself right now. So I want to eat, though. LOL, people like this really exist. That's wow. Yeah, they do. Well, here's the difference, though, which is why I gave him credit. He's willing to admit it. Look, what Gen X was saying, what my last caller was saying, you think there are not thousands, if not millions of people that feel the same way? I give him credit for him coming out and saying it. He's not hiding behind a photo of a cat or not willing to come on camera. I mean, look, I guarantee you know other people that agree with him and feel the same way he does, that are nowhere near as candid as he is. So I give him credit for that. We need more people that are willing to at least tell the truth about how they feel. He's straight honest with it. Not very many black folks in Montana, like none actually. Yeah, that is true. What is the big city there? Billings, and there's only 2 cities out there that are big towns. I know Billings is one. No, Montana's not very, you ain't gonna find you probably find a lot of Native Americans there though. I mean, that was their area. Give me a home where the buffaloes roam. What the fuck am I watching? Why is this host taking jabs from some old white guy that pretends to be someone he is not, says Original Pops Props. Appreciate you tuning in. This is a free speech show. This is a free speech show. We're going to take jabs because we believe in hearing everyone's opinion. You can be critical of anyone on this show, including yours truly. Our viewer opinions do go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. We are MAGA friendly. Always have been MAGA friendly. Always will be MAGA friendly. Liberals are welcome on the program as well. But we are about free speech. So if you favor free speech, congratulations, you're in the right place. If you're currently watching us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, give us a follow. If you're currently watching us on YouTube, sub to the program. We're here most weekdays. Anyhow, I do appreciate you folks tuning in. Like Hillary said, the underbelly of society has been let out. I do honestly feel that if you do have similar feelings to my last guest, stuff like that was shied upon, certainly when the left was in control. I do believe the Trump administration has made it more comfortable to really come out in the open and state how you feel. I do believe that. You're saying Hillary Clinton referred to it as the underbelly. We can go any direction with that, but I do believe President Trump has made, didn't J.D. Vance say, the time for apologizing is over? I believe that, what is the guy's name? The millionaire? Elon Musk, the gazillionaire. Elon Musk told the Germans the time is ended for you to be apologizing for what happened in the past. He's talking about the Nazi stuff. He was telling them, you don't need to apologize for that shit anymore. That's in the past. So I do believe that he has made it a bit easier to come out in those areas. But it is what it is. On the opposite side of free speech, quelling is required. Let everyone wear their feelings on their sleeves. Sarcasm, you're all being bought. Don't know what that means exactly. Italians do not consider themselves white. They consider themselves Italian. And where they came from, Italy. Well, I don't know if that applies to, second, third, fourth generation Italians living in America, though. Listen, there's only so long you can leave your homeland before you start losing some contact with the culture from there. So I think in America, certainly due to the fact that there is a hierarchy, there is a benefit to being white versus other, you're part of the majority. So I believe that most Italians in America are going to identify as white. There's inherent benefits to it. Italian men do date women of different colors because Italians come in different colors. All right. I was more concerned about the hierarchy thing, though. Like he said, he makes it clear to women he's dating that, there's a hierarchy. I am above, as a man, I am above a woman, is what he was saying. So that does make a difference. Only want to explain my piece about Gen X, says Joseph. But anyway, unfortunately, I do got to step away. I appreciate the 156. Some of you folks, thank you for helping me somewhat get my TikTok cap goal. A few of you guys supported the program. There's only so much I can ask, but thank you for those few that did. Have a blessed night, everyone, says the family Azebo. Thank you. If you can't say what you mean, you can't mean what you say, says Redneck Survives. I don't think that's acceptable on the right, though. I don't think it's acceptable for members of the Republican Party to be frank and honest about criticisms of Trump. I don't think they allow that. So there is some freedom of speech, but I do believe that just like on the left, people don't like you saying certain shit. Trump don't want media personalities and networks to say how they feel about him. Trump is not a fan of free speech. Trump is a fan of right-wing speech. You can lie and do whatever you want to do in favor of the right. But if you start criticizing the right, you're gonna receive the ire of Trump. He is not a fan of free speech. So it is what it is. It's your boy Tim, the handsome liberal. Thanks for tuning in. I got to go, unfortunately. Catch you guys tomorrow. Take care. And I think I hit it. So catch you guys tomorrow.